Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Drinks and Discussions. I am your host, alongside Jake, Big Jake, Marcus. I'm Brian. We will be your host, as always, for another hour or two. We're going to be adjusting some things. As you can see, we are on location, and we will be dealing with a couple of things as far as our our video and everything else as we go along. I still hear a little bit of an echo. So give us a second. Let me double check a few things before I get the video on. That should do that. Done. And now we are good. Thank you guys for bearing with us. All right. So we are saying hello. I know there's a lot of people who have been waiting for us. I'm going to continue to address some issues here on our side. Jake, why don't you go ahead and get everybody started? We've got like several people in here. Say hello to everybody. I'm going to go check some settings on Marcus's side again.
Yeah. Uh,
Come on.
so it looks like we're going to be talking about relationships and stuff like that. Just to start, and then whatever else we can get into. See Veen, we got Yum, we got Paladin, Silly Wabbit, Telecline. Uh, who else? Just for fun, we got Nick Volt. Welcome everybody. Truth Teller. Welcome to the show. It's good to have everybody here. Um, Yeah, it looks like Brian and Marcus are trying to get their audio stuff figured out. I think just because they're sitting pretty close to each other, their mics are picking up what they're saying. And yeah, we're gonna want to get everybody's point of view on how the dating scene is. I'm not sure if you guys saw the promo, but yeah, we're gonna. Isabella, how you doing? Welcome
Hear me now?
to the show.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. How about? Do I have an echo? No. I think that's logic.
Absolutely, Truth Teller. I'm just finishing that up for you.
Go ahead and talk, Marcus.
Bart, how you
Check.
doing, Marcus?
Everybody else can hear you guys. Go ahead, talk again, guys. Speak. Both of you guys.
Good.
Check.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
Be good now. All right. All right.
Hold on. Here we go. Hey, Dr. Dave, how you doing, buddy?
So I want to give you. I got to go take care of some business real quick. Marcus, you and Jake keep talking.
Okay. All right. Hey, and okay. Jake,
All
can you
right.
hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
All
Awesome.
right.
So the one issue the one issue we have to deal with being outside, we got some mosquitoes floating around out here.
Oh, it's the worst part.
And it's that, and I don't know about you, the weather where you are, it's that time of the year where it starts cooling down, down here in Texas. And these mosquitoes, it's party time for them.
Oh, we still got them. They didn't go to hell just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a nice little, I think it's like a nice, let's see. It's a nice cool 65. It's a nice cool 65 degrees.
Say that again. I'm sorry, Jake.
No, I said it's a nice cool 65 degrees right here.
Oh, is it? Okay. Very nice. Very nice. So how was your weekend?
Pretty good. I pretty much worked a lot of overtime this weekend, but
Yeah.
other than that, just taking it easy. How's yours?
Man, my weekend was busy. Yeah, no, my weekend was busy. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but on Saturday I attended a funeral of a former coworker, later, that was on Saturday morning, and that was about a 6 hour round trip. So it was 3 hours there, 3 hours back. That evening, I made it back in time for a 6 o'clock wedding. So I had a funeral and a wedding that day, and it was also my sister's birthday. So I don't know if anybody else has ever had that kind of type of trifecta before, but I did it. That's over 500 miles of driving. So
You did it this weekend?
that, yeah, that was on Saturday.
And then on Sunday he's at my house.
Sunday I was out in McKinney at Brian's house.
You guys
So I did some
watching
driving
the?
this weekend.
Were you guys watching the Cowboys?
Yeah, we watched that debacle.
Man, in overtime with the Steelers, man, my boys got. Oh, that was so bad. I was only just listening to it on the radio. My TV wasn't working, so.
Oh, I watched it, Jake, and I was thinking about you the whole time because I don't like the Steelers, and when Burrow hit Chase for that what we thought was going to be okay,
We'll hit that on the sports channel, fellas. We'll get that on the sports channel.
okay.
Drinks and Discussion Sports. We got all that coming.
Yeah,
Jake almost got me going.
Like I said, I was telling Brian earlier, I get all pumped up when I'm talking about my Bengals. So
Drake, there's an echo when I talk. I don't know why.
I think one of you guys might have to turn your mic off when the other one's talking.
You know what? Yeah, we're gonna have to keep doing that. No echo when we do that because there's a lot of crosstalk.
Yeah,
It's
just
very
for
close proximity. So I'll tap it on and off so we'll get all that kind of stuff done. So anyway,
yeah.
I just want to make sure everybody. I do see some people in the chat that are new to our channel. Dr. Dave is in the house. Welcome, Dr. Dave. I don't think you've ever been on this stream before, but we're glad to have you in the chat. As most of you are aware, we don't do any of the audit critiquing or the format that Dr. Dave presents on his channel. This is completely different. So we won't be talking about any of the things that are going on his space on YouTube. So
Donnie Stone, welcome.
Donnie Stone, hello. But I also want to say something to you guys as well. There's something that's been bothering me since our last podcast, and I really want to make sure that you guys are aware. It is hard for Jake, myself, and anybody else that's on the panel to constantly look at the chat. And there are times when we do glance at the chat and we do pick up on a few comments that we feel that we can either comment on because either someone's new or we've gotten some feedback before that we don't incorporate your channels or your comments into our live stream. So having said that, if someone comes over to our channel and they're new, we don't know who they are, and they are engaging you guys into some type of a debate or even trying to belittle one of the hosts on this channel, we are in no means, shape, or form condoning it. Jake is not trying to be friends with someone who's sitting there trying to trash one of our hosts. Liz, who's one of our moderators, is not purposely trying to be friends with someone. And to have someone accuse us of that, it just doesn't sit very well with me. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware that just because we don't see it and we allow you guys to express yourself freely in the chats, that we're not condoning that type of behavior. So
Sure, yeah.
Don't come and start accusing us. And if you do recognize something that's being done in there and they're talking about you, feel free to step up and say something to them yourselves as well. Because again, I can't, monitor some people on our channels go to other channels, and I can't sit here and defend whatever if someone else tries to do on their own personal time. We just don't want the drama to be brought over here. And I'm trying to say that
Yeah,
as nicely as possible. I'm hoping I'm not offending anyone by saying it.
Leave. Don't bring your poison here, man. Leave those guns at the door. We don't want that here.
So I hope I'm not offending anyone when I say that kind of thing. But I see some agreeing. I see Yama saying she agrees with what I'm saying as well. So again, it's just in the best intentions, and I'm just trying to make sure that people understand that we are not purposely trying to troll anyone or allow anyone to troll people that we hold near and dear to us. So with that, let's move on. We've got a new host.
What's up, Vegas Joker?
We got new hosts that are going to be joining us. And I thought that they were going to be joining us tonight. They have not joined us just yet, but they are. They were the ones who proposed the question that you saw on our trailer today, our promo about relationships. Marcus is pseudo single. He's been out there in the dating game. Marcus is single out there in the dating game. Um, there are single people out there that are participating in our chat as well. And the question after a couple of dates that this friend of ours had was, I'm tired of dating. Are there any good men or women out there? Jake, you are out there in the dating world. What's the temperature out there? Tell us what it's like. Are people genuine when you go on dates? Are they genuine? Are they, in for their own personal interest? What's it like out there for you?
A lot of them that I've been coming across are kind of, they don't really, they say they like the image that I give off, but when they meet me, hey, it's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And they try to say, oh, can you change this? Can you change that? I'm like, I don't want to change anything about myself. You know what I mean? Why should I want to change just because you don't like how I carry myself, So yeah, like I said, it's kind of hit or miss with me because some women expect one thing and another expects another. It's like the so-called right one is hard to find. And I say that in quotation marks because I'm not going to say there's not the right one, but you know, I'm just yeah, it's kind of hit or miss.
So, Isabella, welcome again. Vegas Joker, welcome. And Mr. B, hello, sir. Donnie Stone, I see some comments out there.
And I agree with Isabella. Yeah, lots of cheaters, and I'm echoing apparently. I'm
So
sorry.
I'm gonna tell a story, and I hope this person doesn't mind telling the story because I thought she was gonna be on here to discuss it. I got it. I got to a movie, no less. The gentleman that she went on a movie with brought a bottle of vodka and asked her to take it into the movie theater in her purse. What would you say if you went on a date and that happened to you? Ladies. And Jake, would you, as a man, do that?
Bring liquor with me on a date?
Yeah, would you bring liquor on a date and then ask the lady friend of yours to take it into an establishment that did not serve alcohol?
I mean, I like taking risks, but if what's the chance of you getting busted and then you get thrown out? If I was a little bit young in my younger days, maybe I would do that. But um, now that I'm 30 years old, I try to act a little bit more my age instead of my shoe size. Um,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, I bet if maybe not like a giant bottle of it, maybe like a shot or two, a little tiny shot bottle, but just like one or two, just to be ballsy, if I wanted to something like that. Hey Marie, Fluffy T, it's good to have everybody. Am I still echoing everybody?
I think you're good. You're fine.
Yeah, I thought I saw someone said that I was echoing too, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh, okay.
Marcus. Let's hear
Yeah,
what you
so
got to say about
all
that.
right, I'm still trying to get all set up over here, so I'm a little distracted. Oh, they're saying I'm echoing too still. Fluffy T Cat said I'm echoing. So, can you guys hear me? Okay. Um, I've lost track of even what we're talking about. Yeah,
Well,
Jake and
so
Dad.
so I'm listening to some people in the chat. Marcus, Marcus. When I'm
Yep.
talking to Marcus, okay. So there's some people in the chat. Again, we're trying to figure out locations, guys. Again, It's easier for us to do this when we're home. Sorry about the mix up on the volume, but we're going to work through this hopefully and stay focused. It's funny because I don't remember, first of all, actually wanting to go on a first date to a movie. A movie is something that you don't get to engage one another and and converse. A movie is where you just sit there and you're watching a movie and you're not getting to know one another. I think my wife and I's first date was at a restaurant, and we sat and we had drinks and we laughed and we had food, and it was just a good time. What's your idea of a good date, Jake, Marcus? First date.
Oh, I don't know. I guess it just depends. Usually I'm more traditional, like dinner and a movie, or go for a walk or something in the park, and just sit, talk, get to know each other. Something like that.
Yeah, for me, so, you know, once upon a time I was in the dating world, not in the dating world now, but a good first date. So I'll just share some stories. Um, so this is probably back in 2015, 2016. I actually did the online dating thing, and I had never done that before. Um, I thought only, I had just never done it before, so I didn't really know much about it or how it worked. So I got on a couple of sites and whatnot. I remember going out on my first online date, and I remember calling up a buddy of mine, thinking I started getting nervous and cold feet because I thought, well, dang, what if she doesn't look like what she says she looks like? Uh, what do I do? Do I leave? Do I stay? And so I remember telling my buddy, I said, man, if she doesn't look like her picture, I said, I'm leaving. I'm out. he talked he talked me out of it, but it ended up being a really good first experience. And we met at a restaurant. Uh, we had dinner, and we were able to talk for a little bit. It was good. Good little setting. But that was really it. It was just meet, have dinner, chat for a little bit, get to know one another. Um, we ended up going out on I think two other dates. Um, or I'll just say before we decided, hey, this won't turn into anything long term. So
No, it's funny because, again, I have been married for over 4 years, but I've also been with my wife for over 7 years. And it's been a while since I've been in the dating game. But I do recall how hard it is because there are times where I think women are forward these days, by the way. When you go on the dates now, women aren't the ones that are just going to be passing, real passive. If they want to, come straight over to your house and they are comfortable with you coming straight to your house on the first date, they will let you know that I'll meet you at your house, which I would never teach my daughter or anyone or anybody that I know. I would never recommend you go on to a man's house on the first date alone. That makes zero sense to me. Zero. But women, I believe, are doing that, or they were doing that when I was dating. Um, Even before going on a dinner date or seeing them at all, just coming straight to their house. And it happened to me a couple of times. I'm luckily that I didn't end up being in long-term relationships with these individuals, but I just think that the dating scene is just different, especially even now with these younger kids now too, where they're sharing intimate photos online, and thinking that they're going to be in a monogamous relationship, and then you got that guy sharing those images with their friends. It's just odd, really, really odd.
And another thing, like the online dating thing, like what I've recently noticed is a lot of the women that I've come across are either robots or they're women looking for a sugar daddy. And I even have put that in my bio sometimes, like, I'm not gonna be your sugar daddy. I'm not a best savings and loan. You want money, go get a job. So it's like I've come across a lot of women who have been like, so so you gonna give me some money? I mean, it's like, uh, no, I'm not. Do you see fifth third stamped on my head? Like I'm not here to be your sugar daddy. I'm here to get to know you, get to hang out with you, and Or the whole catfishing thing. You say for example, you see somebody that's like a hot blonde with a nice nice rack and then this nice body, nice person. And then you meet them, it's some sweaty guy who lives in his mom's basement playing Fortnite all day, eating Doritos and drinking Mountain Dew, and it's like, who the hell are you? No, it's a bit of a stretch
My
of the
I don't
imagination, but it's
Marcus
kind of an
Marcus
example of what.
Marcus took offense to your Mountain Dew comment. Now don't talk about Mountain Dew.
Hey, no offense to Mountain Dew. I love to drink Mountain Dew, so
Yeah, all good.
but yeah, that's just
But you hit on something though, Jake. About the whole sugar daddy mentality. I mean, I, I don't mind, treating a woman, but I'm not trying to um what am I trying to say?
like
I don't
handing them
mind
money
treating a
whenever they
woman.
ask for it.
Yeah, and so right, everyone's situation is different, right? Me being a single father, and I've been a single father for way longer than I've ever been married,
Hmm.
and so you know my financial obligations first and foremost go to my kids. Now my son is older, so now if when I ever help him, it's more it's spotty. It's here and there. I'll
Yeah.
help him out here, help him out there. Treat him to this, treat him to that. But with my daughter, and especially with my daughter, I pay child support to her mom uh, on a regular basis, and I also provide a home for her when she's with me. So I don't get. So I'm sending money out the door while I'm still providing everything that my daughter needs when she's with me with no assistance. So my my perspective is a little bit different than most, and maybe more from some women would like. Um, although there are some women out there that appreciate situations different, so it's harder for me to want to take on that take that approach and trying to be someone's sugar daddy, and so that just doesn't sit well with me.
I agree with what you said at first. I'm on the first date or just a couple times. I'm not against whining and dining a woman. I'd do that, sure. But
Yeah.
if it comes to a point where she's like, okay, can you spot me a 20 for gas? And then 2 days later, can you spot me another 20? It's like, okay, am I gonna get any of this back? Like,
So
and
that leads me to a
then you
good
get
question.
ghosted.
Well, here's leads me to a good question for everyone. One, when you're talking about chivalry, is chivalry dead? There's a lot of people who said that have a problem with chivalry. There are people who nowadays who think it's offensive to open car doors for men. So, is it still safe enough, and is it considered chivalry for a man to open the car door for a woman? And then also, my second part of that question is it also okay for you to expect the person of the opposite sex or the person you're taking on a date to pay for their meal or cocktails or whatever on the first date? Or is it suggested that the person who asked the person to go on a date is supposed to pay for the entire date? Unpacked a
See,
lot there. I unpacked a lot. Sorry.
I when I go on a date, I like to ask, say, hey, can I cover this for you? And I'll insist and I'll insist and I'll insist, but if they really don't want me to pay and they feel like they're independent enough to pay for their own stuff, I'll be like, okay, if um, at least I offered. So, but if they, but sometimes I'll just go for it and do it anyway, and they'll just be like, why'd you do that? Or something like that. But the way, yeah, I was raised to always, pull a chair out for a lady, hold the door open, hold the car door, just stuff like that. And chivalry's not dead. And I still believe that there are people out there that still do that. Like my dad does it, my grandfather does it, my uncles do it, stuff like that. It's not. It's just that there's people out there that see like just because we didn't hold the door open for you doesn't mean we're a bad person or something like that.
Yeah, I no, I agree. I do not think chivalry is dead, and I voted yes to the poll there. I personally still believe in chivalry. I will open doors. I will hold a door open for men or women. going in and out of buildings, especially a woman. I open car doors for women. Uh, uh, Brian, you met Allison on Sunday. I opened her car door for her. I opened the car door for my daughter. Uh, so I um I totally believe in that. And Jake, just to circle back on something you said. Um, I'm more the problem that I have is if if a woman has this attitude of empower of
Entitlement.
expectation,
Entitlement.
entitlement. That's thank you. That's the what I was. If a woman has an has an entitlement mentality where she is expecting you to do something, I struggle with that, and I'm more likely to be the ill mannered kid and not give in. But if a woman has a more humble approach and is more appreciative, I am more likely to go broke for that type
Yeah.
because I know that she appreciates it.
You know, it's funny because you hit on a lot of the key points that I was actually thinking. Because being genuine and being nice to someone should take zero effort. And the only time you seem to, well, me, and I think it's human nature to draw back on giving is when you feel as if you're being taken advantage of. And you can be taken advantage of by, expecting to be paid for dinners to be paid for, or to expect to have dinner always made for you, or expecting all these types of things. Even if you're in a committed relationship, expectations should never exist. You should be appreciative of those things, but always make a conscientious effort that you're not abusing such things that you're being provided by your loved one. I can't impress upon more than that because not me personally, but I have seen time and time again where people just don't understand when they have a good man or woman right in front of them because they started acting as if they are far more entitled to things than which they are, and not showing the gratitude that they should.
Oh yeah, and I agree. I want to touch on a comment by Fluffy T Cat out there. So again, forgive us if we miss your comments. And if you feel inclined, go ahead and repeat it if you don't mind. In case we did miss it. But Fluffy T Cat says, and the man doesn't orgasm until after the woman is completely satisfied. Period. Take that from the cat. I completely agree with Fluffy T Cat 100%, and that's the model that I subscribe to. So
Agreed.
here's to that.
Yeah.
That is the model I subscribe to 100%.
Oh, yes.
Well, you're not married, Marcus, so I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Listen, I love my wife. My wife is probably watching, so again, I'm sorry. Oh man, but you know what? It's funny because now I want to transition because not only is the dating game different, committed relationships are different as well. The expectations that you are supposed to have when you're in a committed relationship. Are you still playing video games until 12 o'clock at night? Are you still thinking that you can go after a long day of work and mom and baby are at home, that you can go and, golf, play basketball, whatever? That's what I would like to know. Big Jake.
What I've learned, what I've learned is communication and compromise are definitely key things because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys have two different interests, I guess what I'm trying to say is my last one kind of taught me this. Um, there's got to be room for compromise. You know, like if you want to do something like say I play games, I'll be like, look, I have to take some time to myself and I play games to try to escape from reality. And my significant other would be like, okay, that's fine. Maybe I'll be like, well, just don't give me like a set time or something like that. Um, or you can go do what you want, so you can just so you're not up each other's rear ends all the time. because you don't want to cause any friction.
Well, let me ask you this question, everybody. Do you put your partner's goals and feelings and wants and needs above your own? Is that still a thing? Because I thought that's kind of how I was raised. Is that when you really truly love someone, they're your loved ones and your person, your partners, feelings and everything else should come foremost above even your own. And again, we're live. We got people that are looking and we're live. Hello. Hello, everyone. We're Drinks and Discussions podcast. So we're doing a little podcast talking about relationships.
About relationships?
Relationships.
Okay.
And we had a.
I guess they got some people over there poking in.
Yeah, we've got people that are here, and they were asking what we were doing. So bear with us, guys, as well.
But
I'm Brian.
kind of lost track there.
Brian, nice to meet you.
Yeah, Dolly will go over and talk about Tara. Yep, that's Tara and Dolly. Julie.
Thank you. You know, it's funny because for most of you guys who have seen us at the beginning, we were doing this at Uncorked, and we kept getting a lot of these interruptions as well during our live shows at Uncorked. So it's one of the things I actually like. I love having the interaction with other people, but it does interrupt our little live stream as well. Well, as long as you guys don't mind it, I'm hoping that we can continue doing these types of things. But go ahead, Marcus. You had something you want to say.
Fluffy
Yeah,
Cat said Marcus just scored.
Where is that?
Right there, Fluffy
oh.
Cat said you just scored.
And then look,
Nice.
Liz, what Liz said. Liz said, any cute women out there? That's funny. Hey,
I got one at home.
Got nobody. I'm all alone.
So Brian, you had asked a question just a second ago. If do you ask the question generically? Do you put the needs of your partner or your spouse ahead of your own? So I want to add to that and not take away from what you were trying to ask, but does that apply to both men and women, or are you asking that should it be are you asking men if they put their needs above their own, the others' needs above their own?
No, general statement. It goes for both men and women. I think that each party should always go into a relationship. Me personally, I think your relationship should be based upon satisfying someone else's needs and not your own. You come in because you meet a mutual need. But once that mutual need is met in a relationship, I believe that you should be always conscientious of being able to meet the needs of someone else and not just your own.
I mean, you should, of course, take care of your own needs, but I mean, if you're one of I'm one of those guys that would put myself, and I'm basically the guy that would wait on my significant other hand and foot, because that's just the kind of guy that I am. But I wouldn't go so far as to be like, okay, you're probably doing all this for her. What do you got to take care of yourself too. But you're supposed to be a team. You guys should be taking care of each other, not just one taking care of the other more.
Hold on a second, Jake. Let me ask you this question. If you are concentrating on someone else's needs, and the person that you're committed in a committed relationship is focusing on your needs, how can anyone's needs not be met?
I love it. Spot on. Love it.
Dr. Phil has nothing on me. Nothing on me.
You just didn't pull out the knife hands.
What you have to understand is that you can't both have what you want.
Wait a minute, Marcus. I didn't know Marcus had so many different impressions, man. I mean, that was actually really, really good. That was really good.
Let's pray. You should do voiceovers.
Grow out a mustache and you be a spot on, Doctor. You'll be the black Dr. Phil. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, so let me. Can you ask me that again, because I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Trying to really
So my question is if you are in a committed relationship and you are putting someone else's needs first and they are putting your needs first, how can anybody's needs not be met?
Well, see, that's a tough one because most of the relationships I was in, my needs weren't getting put over theirs. See, I was the one putting all their needs before mine. So I really wouldn't know what it's like because I've been kind of tossed around too many times. So that's the best I got because I've really never knew what it was like to have that. Yeah. What about you guys in the chat? Let's or Marcus, what do you got any
Yeah,
you got
no,
anything?
no, I subscribe to that that idea, that you have to be willing to just to accept the fact that you're not in the relationship by yourself. Uh, and to Brian's point, if both people are being selfless, then no one is being selfish. So yeah.
Well, so Fluffy T Cats is actually making some really kind of no, I won't say good points, but he's making some very good conversational um, points out there because he's mentioning like toxic masculinity. I don't know what that means because I cry at movies. My wife makes fun of me sometimes because if there's a sad movie that's playing, I will sometimes not necessarily boo-hoo cry, but I'll go like this. I'm like wiping the tear before it comes down. Is that toxic masculinity? Are we acting more effeminate? But I will also tell you, I will defend my wife in any means necessary. I will defend. I don't think I'm an effeminate looking dude.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I Here's what I think of when I hear toxic masculinity. I may be wrong, but this is what I kind of pick up from that. Maybe being that kind of guy that's like, "Oh, you belong in the kitchen. You need to clean the house. You need to stay home and take care of the kids while I go out and make all the money," or you know, but basically that kind of mindset. That's my interpretation of maybe what toxic masculinity might be. Since you said that, those kinds of things came to my mind when I heard about that. Like I said, I might be wrong, but that that's kind of what I think about when I heard that.
I might have to go to the Urban Dictionary to find that one.
I've never heard of it,
I've never heard of that one.
yeah,
But that's a good term though.
I've never heard of it. But when you guys brought it up, I was like, those kinds of things kind of came to my mind. So kind of acting like the guy is on the upper pedestal and the woman's down here. Like if no, you guys are equal.
Now, I will say that I do I do feel that men and women do play a role, do have roles to play in a relationship. Now, not and I'm not talking hardcore. I'm not talking about the woman barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. I'm not talking about these archaic roles. But I do believe the man should be the provider, protector, not necessarily the sole provider. Um, if he's able to, the man should be the protector of the home, um, protector of his wife, protector of his family, protector of his kids, different ways. It's not just financial. I mean, it's emotional, it's mental, it's all of those different things. It's not just financial.
So even Fluffy T Cat is saying that now the men seem way more effeminate in looks and actions. And we had a conversation a little bit like about this, Marcus, when we were talking about wearing pink shirts and the way we dress, manscaping. Not that we have to get into a whole lot of detail about that conversation, but men aren't supposed to always look the same. We're not gruff. We don't work in the on the railroad yard, or we're not lifting, driving cement trucks all day. Men take on a whole new different look based upon the environment in which we work in, the environment in which we live in, the environment in which we do our hobbies and things of that nature. I golf. I used to play basketball a lot. I used to wear basketball shorts and worry about my tennis shoes. Now it's my golf clubs, or if they clean, or if I'm going to have a cigar when I golf, and all those types of things. It doesn't mean that I'm more effeminate, that we're not tough, that we're not providers. And that's where I think that there's a misconception when you talk about titles. When you give someone a title without understanding that there are different flavors, different walks of life that people come from, then I think you can kind of get a little bit go down that rabbit hole when it comes to like believing in a stereotype. And I'm saying titles. The new term is titles. The old term is stereotypes.
No,
Right.
that's new on me. So I'm glad you shared with me because I hadn't heard that before.
Real quick, guys, let's welcome Vic Ferrari to the show. Vic, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Vic? Vic,
Hey
Vic.
guys, am I on the live panel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh
Yeah, my
yeah,
phone.
we see those green
Okay.
eyes, Vic.
Yeah, my phone's doing some weird things, so I can't tell if I'm on or not. But hey, you guys continue for a minute. I'm gonna try to figure out what's happening on my end.
Okay. Uh,
Real quick, while you're doing that, Flecky Jakey, listen. Men should love, even if we can't dance. Men should love to dance. A woman should never want to have to feel like they have to dance alone. Because
can't dance, so I don't like it.
my wife and I have had, when I'm cooking dinner or she's cooking dinner, I put on smooth jazz playing on the Sonos, and we will sit there and we will have dance parties. My son, who's 4, will get in the kitchen and shake his little thing too. And it's one of those things that I think getting out of your comfort zone is also part of a relationship. Even if you can't dance, I'm not saying I'm the greatest dancer, but I will hold my wife and dance to a slow song even when she thinks I'm embarrassing her, because I think that that is important for someone to do. And I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear that I'm sorry that your husband never did dance with you, Liz, because that's something I think you should do.
Now I can't say I'll have to retract that because I can't say I don't like that. I don't like that dancing like new age dancing. My stepmom's mom, which is my grandmother, uh, she taught me how to ballroom dance when she would come over to stay with us when the time she'd come down. And there'd be times I get home from school and her and my aunt would be listening to just ballroom. They'd just be in the kitchen dancing, and they'd be like, "Come on, we'll teach you how to." And they just taught me how to ballroom dance. And I was like, "Man, this is fun." And then at my sister's wedding, at the reception, me and my grandma are over there ballroom dancing.
Hold on, before Marcus jumps in here, I'm gonna spill the beans because everybody wants to know the real reason that Marcus and I know each other, and it's not because of school. We both used to dance at La Bears, so that's how Marcus and I got we were familiar with each other. So when you talk about dancing, we know all about the dance moves.
True story. True story.
Fluffy T Cat. I don't do ballet.
So,
That was more my sister's thing.
so I absolutely love dancing. Love it. Love it. Love it. So I don't smoke. I don't drink. The only real way, and I love to exercise, but the only real way that I can escape reality for just a couple of hours is getting on the dance floor. And I've never met a woman that didn't. Going back to Liz's comment, and generally speaking, most men won't dance with their woman. I I do that all the time. I love dancing. It was a shocker to me, when I met someone that doesn't. When I met a woman that doesn't like to dance.
My wife
Say I
loves.
do like slow dancing. Just depends on the like. Just depends on the mood. If I'm in the mood for like a slow dance with my significant other, sure, I'll just put on a good song and I'll pull her up off the couch and hey, let's do it.
And my wife loves to dance too, even though sometimes she will probably not dance as much as I would like her to. But when we went to the New Edition concert this past year, my best friend looked at me and he goes, I've never seen this side of Jennifer before. And we've got video of my wife and his wife dancing by the elevators and dancing and all this stuff. And he was like, man, this is like a new Jennifer. And it was refreshing to see. And sometimes when you are that uninhibited, and I think that's what dancing does, it gives you, it lets you your guard down and gives you some like an uninhibited moment. And I think that's refreshing to see.
Vic, what about you, man? What you back with us?
I'm back, but I don't dance ever under any circumstances.
Oh,
So
You're the one we're
if
talking
not
about,
for
Vic.
everybody.
if somebody's looking for somebody that dances, yeah, you might want to keep moving. But no,
Well,
I did want to go back to what you guys were talking about when I first tried to get on here. Because I think it's a fascinating topic. One about the chivalry, and then about the relationships. And what I wanted to say was that I think, as far as what you're giving and putting into a relationship, the number one thing that it all begins with is respect. And it begins with respect for the other person and respect for yourself. You know, because I don't think you can really truly love someone, or being in a relationship if there isn't respect. All right, and if you don't have the respect for yourself, you end up becoming that person that does everything for the other person, and then feels like that they're not getting anything, in return for it, and becomes kind of a
I'm gonna give you
well,
the I'm gonna argue that point, Vic, because I
okay.
believe that a self-confident person can still be giving, and regardless of the fact that if a person reciprocates that giving, doesn't really have a indication on whether or not that person has low self-esteem or low self-respect. I think a person can be in a relationship and truly be committed in that relationship and think that that is how a good, healthy relationship works, and will continue to doing these things in spite of that reciprocation, until they find out that there's just they're tired of giving, and then they will sit there and say, I did my best.
Point of understanding where there's no reciprocation. That's what I'm saying. That's when it becomes a one-way street, and that's becomes an abusive relationship, either physically, emotionally, or in some other way. And that's not healthy. So I believe that someone can be very giving and very at the same time very self-loving and have a lot of respect for themselves. Um, but if you don't have that respect, then your motivations for why you're doing it may not be correct.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. On both sides, Vic and Brian. Uh, because I consider myself to be, very, very giving. If I'm in when I'm in a relationship, um, and I'm giving of myself, giving of my time, um, you know, that sort of thing, and it does become a challenge when you feel like, mm, you might be giving more of yourself than the other person. And to your point, Vic, you may not realize that from the start. It may come down the road and when kind of the veil is torn away, and you're like, wait a minute, time out. What's happening here?
Hmm.
Let me also just tell everybody that if there's some buffering, we are on a Wi-Fi, and they've got like a lot of people here as well. So hopefully you guys can deal and it doesn't buffer too much from you guys. And we're trying to make sure we can deal with that as well. But stick around. We've got a lot of things to talk about too, because I know we can continue going on this, but I want to keep before you guys give up on us. Let's see, we're starting to lose a couple of viewers. I want to say, please give us some likes and also subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. So at the end of this show, guys,
Yeah.
we may, we may, it may go down tonight, folks. It just might happen.
Oh boy.
So
And
we
you're gonna
need
be paying for that.
yeah, we need a lot more likes and we need a lot more subscribers. If you guys want to see this tonight, subscribe, hit the like button, and let's see if Marcus and I will take this one chip challenge tonight. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, so
There's
hit
a
that like button, guys.
there's a lot of people out here on this patio drinking, and I think that we might actually be able to get some dares to see if anybody dares us to do it tonight. I think we can actually incorporate this whole patio.
Is that the one with the ghost chilies and the scorpion extract on it?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm out.
Oh, wow.
Marcus was like, say there, he goes, I'd never heard of this one chip challenge before. I've never heard of this before. What's going on about this one chip challenge?
I did it once with my
I'm not
brother.
familiar with it either. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about.
It's
Yeah.
basically it's a challenge. This chip is like it's like got ghost chili and scorpion X and like different kinds of the hottest peppers extracts of peppers in the world. And what you do is you eat it, chew it up, swallow it, and you got to sit there for like 5 or 10 minutes and just without drinking milk or having any kind of remedy, and just sit there and suffer until it's over. It's basically what it is.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's called the one chip challenge. You just got to eat the one chip, and it's got like extracts from the hottest peppers in the world. I did it with my brother, and just it was dude.
I
He
think
lost.
both of you guys. I think Marcus and Brian should have to do it, just based on the fact that they had convinced all of us how great the Cowboys are going to be this season, and just based on how
Hey, now.
wrong they are, I think there needs to be some kind of punishment. And this sounds like a good one.
I'm at the silence. I'm at the silence, Vic. Gonna have to silence Vic already.
Oh, no.
Silence this guy.
Well, hold on, Vic. So all of us on the panel here, our teams lost this weekend. So
That is true.
there's no winners tonight.
True story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on the look, Marcus. I'm gonna actually going back to this chip challenge before we get on to something else. I'm gonna put the poll up, and I'll be honest with you. If Marcus can get within 2 points of the poll before I end it about if we should do it or not, I will give Marcus the opportunity to back out of this chip challenge.
You can't take a little like you got to eat the whole thing.
I'm tapping out right now.
Come on, Marcus. Come on, Marcus. Come on, Marcus. I think it'll be hilarious.
Don't people from Texas like spicy food though?
Not this Texan.
Oh, come on.
I love, and that's why I keep saying to myself, I can do this because I think I can actually do spicy food. Now, I know this is really, really hot, and I've seen a lot of people cry when they do it. So I'm prepared to go and get me whatever else I need to drink before I do it, but I'm going to be ready to do it.
No. You can't drink nothing. Remember, you got to just sit there and wait.
No, you got to eat it, but you got to let the heat come and then do that. And thanks, Thumper, for giving us some more subs, man. I really appreciate that, man. That's really nice of you.
Also,
I think we should do it.
Donnie Stone, yeah, it is. It's just, I don't know why these people created that, but I guess it's just something to just for people to be funny with. Yeah, like I said, I did it with my brother. He caved fast. Like he went to his freezer and got some ice cream, and it did.
He did what fast? Wait a minute. Wait. He did what fast?
He caved.
Oh.
he went right to his freezer and he got ice cream out of the freezer and he was like,
Hold on, Vic. Did you hear what I thought I heard? Vic, did you think you heard what I heard?
oh man.
Yeah. I thought the heat was very exciting for him.
I did too. I was like, wait a minute.
Hard right turn. But no, me and him we were at his house and we were playing Magic the Gathering, and his wife got those things, one for him, one for me, and I was like, let's just do it. Stuffed it, ate it. Like not even a few minutes later, he's running to the freezer grabbing ice cream, and he's like, it's not helping, it's not hitting. He's putting his mouth under the sink. It's like, dude, no, you're dealing with this with me.
Well, see, so my wife, even when I told her we were going to do this remotely, again, we do this majority of the time. We do this from our homes, and my wife was like, I don't know if you should do this when you're out somewhere else because one, once it gets ready to like come out, you might not be able to make it home, and I might like have like this real like I don't know. Is it supposed to give you diarrhea or something? I don't know. I didn't ever hear that thing, but it's supposed to be so spicy
Man,
that it's gonna send me to the bathroom. It's what, and or my mouth is gonna be on fire, where I'm gonna have to call an
I'll
ambulance.
tell you what, if you have a sensitive stomach, it ain't for you. I'll
Well,
tell you
I
what.
know I've got like a steel lining in my stomach because I can eat leftovers for weeks, but I don't know if I'm ready for that thing.
Oh man, because yeah, it's got ghost chili extract on it.
So I'm
But
I'm gun ho for this. I'm excited about it. I should have put in the chat. Should Marcus? The poll should be: should Marcus do the one chip channel challenge? Because we're at 73% right now that we should do it. And but it's only listen, guys. Come on, guys, vote. Come on, please, just vote. We've got only 11 votes. Come on, vote.
I think we should give Marcus a choice because this is a free society, so everyone should get a choice. So either takes the one chip challenge or takes a drink.
Oh,
that's quite an ultimatum. I gotta give you that one.
I was ready to support you, Vic, and that you were on my side.
I know my one friend in the YouTube community, and look what I do.
Oh gosh, man, Marcus, he kind of puts you in a rock and a hard place right there, old buddy.
Also, I would even go one step further, even without the drink, because he is drinking on a mocktail right now. I'm not sure how much he's drinking on. Is that any good?
It's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I think Marcus should either take the one chip challenge or go jump in the pool.
That's good enough.
Do I have to keep my clothes on?
Well, we want to continue the podcast. I have to take we don't want to be kicked out. I'm going to switch gears on you guys because this is just something that, as I listen, there are channels out there that are trying to do or that are doing what we are trying to do that have millions of followers, millions of subscribers, millions of just views on their channel, and all they're doing is what we try to do. But we've only been doing this for a short amount of time. And I'm not looking and begging for you guys to subscribe or like or anything like that. But I want to provide content that I think that people are actually talking about. And so that's why you're about to see what you're about to see. And I want you guys to bear with me on this because some of you guys may feel a certain way and some of you might feel the other way. But I want to get the gauge of the temperature in the room. So I want you guys to watch it. And then after we watch it, I want you guys to tell me why you think I'm playing it. Give me 1 second. Let me get it up here first. Make sure we're ready. I don't have anything queued up. I need a producer for this show. That's what we need, is a producer. So I don't always have to keep clicking on the buttons. Okay, are you guys ready? It's a little short. I hope it's not copyrighted or anything like that. So I'm gonna show it. Take a chance anyway, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about it. We're gonna go next.
Just in case it is, we don't own copyrights to it.
Right.
Just saying that for the YouTube overlords out there.
Okay. I'm going to pause that there for a minute, and then you'll see the title there. But I want to make sure that I'm pausing it in enough time that they don't copyright strike us right away.
Actually seen some reactions to this trailer.
Wish I could
It's hot.
be part of that world.
So I want you guys to ask me, does anybody know why I played that? Why I brought that up?
Be, because Ariel is is a black actress.
That's exactly
Because
why I played it.
because a friend of mine actually showed me a TikTok of a bunch of people reacting to this. So
You are spot on.
it looks she's pretty hot, dude. I gotta give her that.
So the reason why I'm playing that is because there have been people out there on the on YouTube, Twitter, that have actually redid this commercial or this um, trailer, teaser trailer, and actually lightened this young girl who was portraying the actor, the character, as white. There are millions of people who have left negative reviews because Ariel is portrayed by a black actress. There are people in Lord of the Rings, thank you, Mr. B, for bringing this up, that are up in arms, that even Amazon has halted reviews because people are up in arms over elves being portrayed by black actors. What say you guys? What are your feelings? What are your thoughts?
I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it at all.
So, oh, go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just saying I don't see anything wrong with it at all. Like I said, there's nothing. Who cares?
So I'm gonna. So if I can, my heart is happy right now. I'm gonna come back to the mermaid thing real quick, but the poll, Brian, for the first time ever, the poll added up to 100%. My heart is happy right now. 75-25.
Oh
That's a
yeah, we
first. That's
finally
a
got us
first.
a 100%.
We've been doing this for how long, and it would always add up to 99%, and that just troubled me so much. But my heart is happy now. Okay, so back to the Little Mermaid thing. Um, it's by Disney. It's going to be done by Disney, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Of course, yes.
I will say that's one of the things. That's one of the things that I really, really, really love and appreciate about Disney. Um, and I believe they do it genuinely. Is that they have they try to represent they try to have a princess that represents just about every culture. And I love that about Disney. Whether it be Samoan or uh, Indian or Caucasian. You've got the Princess and the Frog that was black.
Yeah.
I love that about Disney. I don't know that I don't know I don't know what the problem is about this rendition, this version, this iteration of Little Mermaid. I don't know what the problem is.
Like I said, she looked like sounds like she's got a great voice, and my thing is, as long as it follows the story, I don't care who's playing Ariel. She can be a Chinese woman for all I care, or
Well, let me ask.
something like that. It doesn't have to be a white person.
What's the color? What's the color of a real mermaid?
White most of the time.
Jake, shut the fuck up.
What?
Jake, shut the fuck up. There's no real mermaid, dude. That was a trick question, and you fell for it.
Right, right. But I think this is the first time that I've even seen
Mermaids
that
are real.
they're remaking this as a live action, and that there's
Live
any
action.
controversy around it. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a live action, right? What I'm figuring that the controversy may be is that although there's no such thing as a mermaid, we do know the Little Mermaid, right, as being white with red hair, And so is the controversy because they're going away from that? That it's not like a new movie. It's an no. I'm saying that the Little Mermaid itself as a cartoon, right, was white with red hair, as far as what I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is the controversy because this adaptation is different from that. Because I this is the first that I'm hearing of it. I mean, that's the only thing I could see as being an issue with it, that it's not an actual adaptation of what we've been shown as being the Little Mermaid.
Well, the nature of an adaptation is the adaptation of the creators, right? This is their adaptation of the character. This is not a remake of a story that they told a long time ago. This is not another cartoon depicting something that you grew up as a child and said, hey, why are they changing? Last season she was this color, this season it's another color. This is an adaptation of a new creator who is sitting there saying, this is the climate in which we live in, that people should be projected as princesses that are not always Caucasian, prince that are not always Caucasian, and that it gives people, young girls, a feeling that when they look at something that and a character resembles them, that they feel like they can be princesses in real life. Not that they're going to be princesses in real life, but it's a feeling. I get it.
Right, but is that what the controversy is though, or what's the
Yeah,
like? I
the
guess it's the
controversy.
controversy.
No, the controversy is they have a black actress portraying a character that is portrayed in the comics and animation by a white
Right,
character.
as being white. Right,
All right.
right, yeah.
So Vic, when you were describing the Little Mermaid earlier, you left out one important thing. She had the red hair. She was white. She had the red hair, but you forgot the green scales. Wow, the green scales.
Green scale, yeah, okay.
All right. I'm gonna be honest. Well, before you
Yeah,
start, well,
I don't really.
hold on, Vic. Let me just be honest here. I've never seen The Little Mermaid. I have never seen this cartoon ever in life. I don't even know if I'm really want to go see this one. Um, my son probably will want to see it. I don't know, but I'm not going to go see it if he doesn't want to go see it. It doesn't interest me. The Little Mermaid never interests me. I think my wife is probably interested, and if she wants to see it, I will watch it. But I will admit, I never saw the original.
Me and my sister grew up with all those Disney movies. I mean, I might go see it with my sister and my niece. Just you know, just
Nope.
because she's there's a black actress. This doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad movie. Who knows? It might be better than the original, but fat chance. Nothing's better than the original. But this new rendition, despite the actresses and actors, it might actually be good. You know, despite who's acting and who's doing what in it.
And
Agreed.
Brian, you're not alone. The conversation guy has never seen it either.
You guys are
Thank
missing
you,
out, man.
thank you,
Not,
somebody. Thank you, somebody else on my side.
Oh my
well,
my
that happened to be my ex-wife's favorite like Disney character of all time. So I've seen it. I've seen the figurines of it. I've ridden all the Disney rides of it. I've done all the things that go along with it. And I'm sure if we were still together, I'd be seeing this in the theater. But in this case, I will say, fortunately, we are not, and so I won't be.
But my question,
you know
so
my
go ahead, Jake.
my brother-in-law. Well, me and my sister were talking to him, and he's like, "I've never seen any of those movies." And me and my sister were like, "You've never seen it?" Like we grew up with these movies, even though some of them were before our time. We had like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Peter Pan, uh, Cinderella. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, stuff like that. And you guys kind of reminded me of him when he said that because it's like he's never seen those movies, and now they're making all these live action movies. And I've seen a couple of them, and it's like I know it's kind of off subject, but it's like some of these live action movies, man. It's like they're not doing the originals any justice, but they're catering to a new generation who may have seen the older movies, but want to see these new versions of old movies. They're like, oh, this is just like the old one, you know. But it's for a new generation of people.
But let me just ask this question though. My real concern about it is I'm just trying to, understand in the climate in which we live. Are we a culture, a society of people that wants to get up in arms over the depiction of a fantasy or a fictional character? I mean, there are millions of people who are trying to say boycott Disney because of the depiction of a fictional character, guys. That's where this is going. I don't care about the movie. If you want to see the movie, that's great. But my question is, what the hell are we doing as a society where people are saying that black people can't be elves, black people can't be mermaids? What's going on here?
Well, that
Somebody please
it
enlighten
sounds
me.
like it sounds like those are just people that are part of that cancel culture. They're like
No, stop, Jake. Let me
Dis-
let me interrupt you. That's not cancel culture. Cancel culture to me,
no.
and may be different from you, but this is not about cancel culture. This is about race. This is not about cancel culture. People are saying not because this person did something in her past, and they're saying that she should be held accountable. This actress did nothing to anyone other than be born as a black person. And that is why she is being chastised as portraying a fictional character. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
that ain't to me. That's not right. Just because she's got a role as a fictional character, that shouldn't. Yeah, that's wrong. That's not fair.
Hey, Brian, Liz says that you and I would make very cute elves.
I always tell people I still have a 5 in front of my height. A 5. A 5 in front of my height does not make me tall by any stretch of the imagination. So, um, I could be called an elf. Compared to Jake, I'm probably an elf. Jake is what, 6'3", 6'4"? I don't know. How tall are you, Big Jake?
6'1".
6'1".
I wish I was 6 feet tall.
I did too.
Golly.
Listen,
When we were kids, we would me and my brother, my sister, we were pretty growing up pretty tall. So sometimes when we were kids, we would stand in front of our mom and just pat her on the head and be like, "It's okay, you can just stay short." And she wouldn't take offense to it. She would just laugh at it. She's like, "You kids are assholes. One of these days you're gonna be old and decrepit like me, and you're gonna wish you never made fun of me."
listen. I'm going to go back to our original conversation. My son's needs are more important to anything else because he can go play sports and he can make that money that I couldn't make as a professional athlete. I got hopes and dreams, Marcus. What say you, man? What say you?
And newsflash for the podcast crew out here, I met Brian's son for the first time on Sunday. That is a funny kid. Let me tell you,
True story.
I'm not going to share my dad jokes with him because he's going to take them and really make something of it.
My kid is 4, but he talks and acts like as if he's like 14. He thinks he always wants to be right in the face of all the adults. Um, and yeah, I don't want to talk about my son. He gets me emotional sometimes when I'm talking when he's not here. I love my kid, I love my wife, and I love my family, so I'm good, man. Uh, conversation guy says I'm 5'9" if you stretch the crap out of me. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to
Uh,
say, oh, I'm sorry, Jake. Go ahead. Then I
uh,
want to say something really quickly.
Dr. Dave, I'm not sure if you wanted to pop in, but he's asking for the 4-digit code for our panel here.
There is no 4-digit code, and let me just say this, by the way. Um, Dr. Dave and I, and well, let me just say this: Dr. Dave and Drinks and Discussions, we don't have any any issues with each other. I hope and pray, and I want everybody to make sure be clear that what I'm saying here. I don't want to like mince words. I wish everybody to be able to have a YouTube stream if they wish and be as successful as they possibly can. I don't care if you say anything negative about Drinks and Discussions, but I want you to go out there and do the best that you can be and do the best that you can do on YouTube and whatever stream you're on. And Dr. Dave, I started doing this thing on YouTube because of you. So there's a little bit of respect that I still have for you and allowing me to kind of get more and more involved in this platform, even though we don't still do the same things. I'm not going to be very long-winded here. I just want to get this out of the way. Always say, and Jake will mimic this, my saying here. We just we don't want to have that being portrayed, even involuntarily, on Drinks and Discussions. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it seems odd to me that during this time, all of a sudden, we've known Dr. Dave. Dr. Dave could have came over here months and months ago, but now all of a sudden, Dr. Dave wants to be on our panel. I would love to have a conversation with you on the side, Dr. Dave. I've actually asked you to be a part of this panel when we were cordial when I was on your stream. I just don't want to be now have you on this channel and then have people think that we are, choosing sides of something that we are not even a part of. And I hope you understand that this is not anything as a slight to you or anybody else's channel. I know you're coming in peace. I get it. But at the end of the day, I think we would just love for us to let all that stuff wind down. You figure out what you're going to do with all that kind of stuff, all the hatred and trying to, talk down to people because they choose to take their stream in one direction that you don't agree with. I just, we might say something on here. We might have a topic that somebody doesn't like, and then all of a sudden we're going to be, somebody's going to try to shut us down. I'm just not cool with that. So I got a little respect for you still, Dave, man. I appreciate you joining us. This has nothing to do with you. I'm just making sure that the people who are here don't feel as if just because of your presence that we're involving ourselves into something that we want zero part of. So anyway, having said that,
Hey,
go ahead,
real
Jake.
quick, I will say this, Dr. Dave. I've reached out to you to get back with me anytime, man. I'd like to. Doesn't have to be on a live stream. Just I talked with him on a personal level before, and I've reached out to him recently. And Dave, if you're, hey, call me back sometime, man. I'd like to talk with you about some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to be friends, if you want to get on Discord with us, we talk. Jake and I talk all the time, or not all the time. But we talk on occasions on Discord. Marcus and I talk all the time. Vic has had conversations with us on Discord when we're not live. So don't let that slow you down for reaching out to anybody. If you want to be friends with someone, show that you are friends of them, even when you're not showing it in front of other people. All right. So, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I'd like to get back to the topic at hand if you guys are ready.
Let's
do it. So let me show you this other video about. Go ahead.
I just wanted to comment on something really quickly because you had said that you have all this love for your family and your wife and all those things, and I believe that that's what separates you, Jake, myself, Marcus, from the people that are so concerned about the color of someone that's playing this fictitious character, because they don't have that love in their heart for their lives and the lives of the loved ones around them. And so they want to look at these things and go after them because that's hate, and that's what's really in their heart. And that's what I think. That's why the color of people's skin, what they believe in, doesn't matter to us. I mean, and I think that's the difference.
It's funny because at the end of the day, I never look at anybody based upon their physical appearance to begin with. I'm someone who actually likes to see and hear. I like to hear what's coming out of your mouth, and then I like to see your movements. How do you carry yourself? And we were talking about chivalry earlier on. How do you treat your woman? If I see you and you say, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my wife," my eyes are on you on how you treat your wife in order to find out if I'm going to be respectful to you. It's hard for me to like they make more money than me, so they're sizing me up and doing all that kind of stuff. So guys, to me, I always kind of keep them at arm's length until you start showing me that, hey, you're just a regular Joe, just like me. We don't care about how much money you make. I don't care what kind of car you drive. All I'm going to do is just sit there and say, hey, we're Cowboy fans. We're Maverick fans. We're golfers. We're all these types of things that we meet in a common ground. And you build relationships off of that common ground.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, that's I hate trying to, and I don't trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know, I'm not. I'm that's not. I don't roll like that. You know, I'm very blessed to be where I am in my at this point in my career. So, um, yeah, I don't roll like that. I'm not trying to impress nobody.
Right, that's the thing. Nobody's trying to impress anybody, and that's why when I think we had a conversation. I don't know if it was with Marcus or somebody else. How many friends do you think you actually have? Men out there, like we've got some men in the chat. Donnie, Mr. B. How many friends do you think the average man? My cousin was actually having this conversation with me. How many average friends do you think the average? How many friends do you think the average man has? Put it in the chat. How many friends do you think the average man has in the chat? The number will surprise you.
And so maybe we need to make sure we define friends because sometimes we can use that loosely. Friends, acquaintances, just um, colleagues, you know, or
No,
true
no,
friends,
no.
somebody that
Okay,
in the middle of
so
the night you can call.
right. So I'm not saying associates. I'm saying friend.
Like probably like genuine, like just like Donnie Steele
Don,
said, genuine friends.
well, Donnie said he's got one. Mr. B said two or three. Isabella says two. Donnie says he may have seven that would really like literally die for.
Besides you guys, I have a very small circle. So friends, I'd have to say maybe 4 or 5 at most.
Conversation guy has three. Truth teller says three or four.
Yeah, people that I say I've got some buddies. A lot of them live far away, but yeah, I'd say about for me about 4 or 5 that are actually people that I can really confide in and tell my really vent to. Just like if I'm having a bad day or if I have something that I really need to get off my shoulders, I can go to them. Somebody that's outside my family, you know, something like that. So yeah, I'd say about 4 or 5 for me.
Okay. And you know what? That four or five is almost about the average. But depending on what survey you look at, because there are some that actually say up to 10. I've seen some that says anywhere between 3 to 5. And that's a friend of mine who actually says, as we golf, sometimes we need another person, and somebody will say, "Hey, I know this guy. He'll join in, and he wants to act like he's part of our group." And he'll go, "No, man, I got enough. Like I got enough friends. I got 10 friends. I don't have enough room for anybody else. 10 friends is my max." And we go, like, that's kind of like, oh yeah, that's kind of a true thing. I mean, like people that you talk to all the time. I talk to Marcus weekly, not just because of this. We talk about a lot of different things outside of here. And after kind of going to school together and rekindling our relationship over the last few years, we've become more and more tightly knit. Um, but there's not that many people that I can consider that I just meet on a random. I think people are cool to get it, but not that I would just say, "Hey, come meet my wife and kid and hang out and just chill." No. Because I think people are phony the most majority of the time.
Yeah.
So Brian invited me on a date, first date to his house, y'all.
Sounds like it's getting serious.
The first date was at my house. Wait up, Marcus is an easy date. He came to my house, didn't even ask me to go take him out nowhere. He just said, "I'm coming to your house, Brian." That's hilarious. I love the way you did that. I love that.
Oh
I'm a
boy.
pretty cheap date, you know. I don't need much. Just you throw on a football game and I'm good.
And all he ate was cheese dip. I didn't even have to give him a steak or no chicken wings or no nothing. It was just cheese dip. Cheese dip. That was it.
So,
Hey, you
I'd
hey,
like to,
you give me
I'd
Skyline dip, I'll be okay.
like to say something about the friends conversation. You know, I kind of fall into the line where everybody else, right? Maybe four or five, you know, good friends that I confide in. But the thing we have to remember is that all of us in here and all the people that are in that chat, we're the lucky ones, man. We're very fortunate that we have those people.
Let me ask you this
Because there
question.
are people out there.
Well, let me ask you this
There are
question.
people out there that don't have that, and we shouldn't forget them.
But why? Why is that? Why is that, Vic? Are you saying you have a limited number of friends because you just don't want to open yourself up to having more friends? You don't feel like you can trust other people. I want to know why men are. Because I'm a social guy. I can go to a bar and sit right behind me, and my wife will say, by the time I'm done, I will probably know everybody at this bar. My cousins will
Yeah,
tell you the same things.
but those aren't friends
No,
though.
no, no, no.
Those aren't friends.
But you start a friendship by a communication. You always start something by based upon something. It could be something small. It could be a football game. It could be a drink that you're having. It could be the color of shirt you have that looks like my shirt, the hat that I'm wearing. It could be anything. But my question is, are
Right.
you only selective in having those groups of people because you just want your circle of friends to be such a small number, or are you not in an area or in a time in a time in your life where you invite more people to know who you are on that intimate level? And friends, I will tell you, that's an intimate relationship.
Oh, agreed, 100% that it's an intimate relationship. Um, I guess to me, I mean the true, you know, definition of friends is someone that you can, you know, like I said, call up anytime. Will be there for you, whatever the situation is. I also look at friends, real friends, as people that maybe I don't communicate with on as regular a basis. But when we do pick that up, it picks up right where it was, and that they're still there, you know, to listen or to, you know, to lend a hand where they can, even if it has been a while. Um, and that's how I look at my, you know, myself.
Described. It's when you have somebody in your life that you don't have to talk to all the time, but when you do talk to them, it's like you just never skip the beat. That's called family to me. That's like a family member because there's a lot of family members out there that I just don't sit there and have a conversation with all the time. But when I see them at the end of the day, it's always like we just pick up where we left off.
Right. Well, anybody that I consider to be, you know, that close of a friend to me is family, because
Yeah.
I have a lot more family ties that way than I do with my own family. You know,
My
I mean,
my
yeah.
oh, go ahead, Vic. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
My condolences to the truth teller and the conversation guy. You know, probably my closest friend was my middle brother. My closest friend was probably my middle brother who passed away back in 2004. And man, it's been hard pressed. You know, just full disclosure, it's been hard pressed to really, let people in for me, let guys in, um, and really have that that open friendship, where you can kind of just share the things, because and I think we've talked about this on other podcasts, maybe in the very beginning, about men and how we may or may not make ourselves vulnerable, how we may or may not share certain things, um, but yeah, so yeah, I there's a couple. I probably have about that 3 to 4 solid friends that I don't always talk to necessarily, but I know that I could call on, at any point in time. So,
Um, I feel the same way about, Brian and you, Marcus and Vic. I've known these people since I was a little kid, and you know, just I've been just in the last 10 years alone, I've just been taken advantage of and just tossed around like some rag doll from so many people, and I'm like, that's why my circle is very small and I'm not very sociable. So outside of my family and you guys on here, I could go to one of them and be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, so I've been having, these kinds of thoughts," and they'll be like, "Oh, dude, you can't be doing that." They'll be on like a serious personal level with me as if they were, they are part of my family. They're not family members, but I do consider them a family, like a brother, sister, stuff like that. It's so.
So the question is, why is it so hard for people to? Let me go back to this comment that Donnie was saying. Why are so many people reluctant to let others in? He doesn't. He honestly, he doesn't get that. And I told him I know the answer to that question. I believe. I don't know the answer, but I have a feeling. People are just afraid. We are, especially men. Men, we had this conversation earlier about the toxic masculinity. Men are afraid to be vulnerable, and that sometimes puts us in jeopardy with relationships, with our significant others, or with just male counterparts. We are afraid to open ourselves up. Women can go in there and they can open up about their feelings all the time. That's how they bond, because they typically bond upon an experience that they had, that they were just so, available emotionally to talk about it. Men aren't. And that's why I was telling you guys, it took me a long time. Get it. I am not faking the funk when I tell you guys. I used to be a man of the streets. I used to go from woman to woman, thinking that and that wasn't me. That was a fictional character that I had put on.
LeBaire.
I had put on this whole facade because I had been tired of dating women that I felt like I was giving myself emotionally, and I'm like getting nothing in return. So I thought I had to do something in order to build my self-esteem up. And I be honest with you, in junior high, I was not, the most. I had glasses and braces and all these different things. I was awkward until I hit high school. And then when I started seeing women, because I started working out, actually I started working out in like ninth grade. And then after ninth grade, and I started going into the weight room and playing around and being an athlete. And I seen that women looked at me, it took a whole new level of personality that I, became. But that was just a caricature of who I am. Because the real Brian is the person that sits down and watches a movie who's not afraid to wipe his eye. And I'm not afraid to do it in front of men. I'm not afraid to do anything that I would do in front of my wife, and that I would not do in front of my male friends. And I get made fun of a lot of times where I put my foot in my mouth because I'm just that kind of an open guy. But you got to take it or leave it. I'm emotionally available. And if I see somebody who also is actually putting themselves out there emotionally available and reciprocates that feeling back to me, that goes a long way with me. I'll get along with you more on that level than I will on our jobs, on how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, or even over golf. If you are sitting there and you're talking to me about something that you're experiencing in life, I will bond with you a lot faster.
Start because who's to say that, I get hanging out with somebody and I start just saying things or, telling people about my past, and it's like, what if they go out and tell other people, and then other people are looking at me like, "Oh, look at him, he's that guy." Like, yeah, I don't open up about my feelings a lot, so I get that.
I think for me the answer to that question is twofold. I was raised in a very old country household and environment, and men were men, and we didn't show our feelings, and the machismo and all that stuff. So I carried that along with me. And then I had very much an abandonment issue. If I get close to you, some way or another, you're going to leave me anyway.
Right.
And that had to do with my adoption, my mom dying when she was young, friends turning their back on me, all these things. And it's like, if I get close to people, they're going to leave. So I'm going to keep you at an arm's distance so I don't get hurt.
That's
But
kind of
really,
how I
that's what,
am too.
yeah, and that's what really caused the hurt for me, because I was never able to really um, create these bond relationships because of the lack of relationship that I had with myself. And once I
Hmm.
was able to let that go, now I'm kind of an open book, and maybe too much so at times. But it's the way that I like it now, and I'm able to cry in front of my boys. They're able to, share their feelings with me, being teenagers, which is something I never had with my father. If I came to him and talked to him in some of the ways that my boys and the emotions that we share, you know, anyway, it was kind of a, man, you want to cry about that? I'll give you something to cry about kind of thing, and it just created this, really, cold and calculated person in my opinion. But so I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of levels to it. But I think once you're comfortable with it, it's a wonderful thing, and if you're not afraid to be hurt, because when you open up yourself like that, ultimately at some point, you're gonna get hurt, because people who aren't understanding of that or aren't respecting that are gonna do something to hurt you. But if you're willing to take that risk to be hurt, then you're willing to accept the love as well.
I come from both sides of the fence because my dad was, he was kind of my mom was like, she was a very caring, nurturing type person, but, and also my dad was like, he was the kind of guy that, yeah, he stuff feelings down, but on some occasions, I could go to him, but a lot of the time I would be afraid to go to my dad because he'd be like that, and he'd be like that kind of guy. He'd just stop crying and get over it. It is what it is. It's like, I get both sides of my, thought process from that. But yeah, just
But
like you said, I keep people at an arm's length because I'm afraid that, if I get too close to somebody and they're gonna be like, oh, bye. So I'm like, okay, what
I'm gonna let
what
Marcus
now?
jump. I'm gonna let Marcus jump in here real quick, but I want to say one thing before, because I want to say, uh, I have the exact same experience that Vic Ferrari and you, Jake, have said the exact same. My dad was a little bit unemotional, even if to this day. And when I see my dad, if I go in for a hug, he's kind of like awkward, like you don't know where to, he's going this way, am I going this way? Is it a reach around, like a around the waist hug? Am I going up top? He's going around low. I don't know. It's just an awkward hug. It's always awkward, and my dad has always been that way. Love my dad, but it's just always that different way. But Donnie Stone is asking, does it even matter what others think of you, why, and when? I have an answer for that as well, my opinion. But I'm gonna let Marcus jump in here really quick and then see what he has to say.
Yeah,
Oh, I was gonna say you go ahead, Brian. No, no, so I think we all have similar stories as far as our fathers are concerned. I don't know that my dad was necessarily unemotional, but maybe it just wasn't shown, or maybe I didn't feel it. My dad, and I think we've all shared. My dad was military, so I kind of got some of that, and even to this day, when I meet people, they ask me if I'm military, because of the way I might carry myself, but a lot of that has to do with how I was raised. But to this day, I didn't let that affect how I, showed love, for or towards my kids. My son is like 6'2", 6'3", and I make him every time I see him, I make him bend down so I can hug him, and I kiss his neck every time. So, and of course, my daughter, my baby girl, she's 12. She still wants to jump up in my arms, and I love on her real good. But yeah, it yeah, that emotion thing for men is very, very tricky. And once I will say this, you know, it is a wonderful thing when as a man you can kind of open up and let yourself be vulnerable. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. But if that wonderful thing gets ruined, it is hard to get it back for a man. That's for maybe for me. I should say I don't want to speak for everybody, but maybe for
I feel like as we've aged, my dad has, and it's unfortunate to say this, I think when my grandmother passed away last year, that kind of brought out more of his sensitive side because it made him see life short, and we're all growing up, and it's like, man, I wasn't as emotionally attached to my kids growing up, but now that they're older, they got kids, they got lives. I think it's bringing out more of his sensitive side, and he's starting to understand how we feel, going through the motions as adults. But I've even tried talking to him things about when we were kids, and it's hard for me because he wasn't there 100% of the time. So it's
Can I
it's a little bit of a touchy subject, but
can I say something real quick? Let me just say this real quick. I'm looking at the guys on this panel, even though I can't see Vic Ferrari, and I'm reading the chats in the chat section, and I'm in awe that we as a community have decided to come here and be vulnerable with each other. This is not something that most of you guys see on other streams. Megan is here.
Megan.
Amen.
Hey, Megan. Great to see ya. So we got to get some like sound effects so we can like hit like keystrokes to say hello. But I just want to say I'm in awe that everyone are sharing stories, even in the chat, about your own vulnerabilities. That means a lot, and I want to make sure you know that anytime that I can give you guys insight to who I am as a person, I am well okay with doing that. Um, that's part of Drinks and Discussions is to be able to be your authentic self without putting on a persona out there to put on a show, because this is not a show. This is us. This is who we are. This is Marcus. This is Jake. This is Vic. This is Megan. This is me. And I don't want anybody to think that there's anything else that we're trying to do here, but share with you our stories. And I appreciate you guys sharing your stories as well.
Right on,
you guys, I feel like I can kind of break out of my shell here a little bit. I feel good here. So it's like, I know it's for a bunch of people watching, but it's, I give off I got this rough exterior, but right there in the center,
Right on, man. Hey, I agree with Brian, man. I mean, the fact that we can come on here and open up about these things, that's what's important, man, because it shows the vulnerability. And I can tell you, if I was going to put on airs and be something I wasn't, it wouldn't be this. I'd
True
pick
story. True
a
story.
much different persona I'd pick a much different persona than this one, and I can see by everybody's, Marcus and Brian's laughter and their smile. They're like, "Yeah, man, if you this has to be the real you, because who the hell would pretend to be this?"
Absolutely.
But and the thing is, man, but by getting on here and doing this, people that listen to what we're talking about, and people that may hear it like later on, there may be something that we say that helps them. And that's why I like getting on these panels, and I really do appreciate you guys. And it's great to see you on here, Megan.
I don't know if Megan's on mute or she's going to join us. I would love to see Megan. We miss
Hi,
Megan. We miss Megan. Wait, I don't know if we still settled the issue. Is Marcus doing the one chip challenge or not? I don't know. I think we should actually have Marcus do the one chip challenge. Do we need to call? Look,
oh boy.
do we need to call somebody to drive you home because you could take the one chip challenge?
How about you do the one chip challenge and then jump in the pool? Maybe that might help.
with my mouth open, right?
Get that chlorine. It might stir up some foam in your mouth. Oh my God. Nah, just. Oh man, I just want to see your guys' reactions.
So here's the deal. Liz is asking what the one chip challenge is. So Liz, I'm going to show you this thing again. This is the one chip challenge. This is like the hottest chip on the face of the earth. You can't eat more than one chip. Shaq has cried. Look it up on if you got another computer or another browser open. Look at how many people have done this challenge and what the results have been. This is difficult. I'm going to do it like this. And Thumper, I would love to do the vodka challenge because I got to be home though if I'm doing the vodka challenge. I can't drink and drive. But I think we should do the one chip challenge where we're both at home and have milk readily available.
See, that's the thing. Milk isn't always the answer. See,
I
they
might be
say
on
that.
board if I was at home.
Yeah, they say milk it helps, but it's not. No, it's not gonna help. I tried it.
Marcus said they
There
don't
you
have.
go. There's Megan.
If you don't have these in the area you live in, Amazon is readily available. You're on the line with your computer right now. You can get on Amazon and you can find these on Amazon.
I can get them at the store right up the street.
Is Megan
They have them on a
is Megan frozen or just like my son? My son goes, "Freeze, Dad, freeze!" And then next thing you know, he's like moved my hand, and it's like in my nose, and there's like this, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?" There it is. Megan's moving now. Okay.
I think you.
Oh, there she is.
Welcome to the party. The first lady of Drinks and Discussions. That's what we call Megan, the first lady of Drinks and Discussions.
I think doing the one chip challenge at home for the first time would be a good idea.
We didn't hear you, Megan. Can anybody hear Megan?
No.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, can't hear it.
She's moving though. Nodding.
No, I can see you nodding. We see you
I
nodding,
can see her nodding,
but that's about
looking
it.
intently.
So
Oh,
there,
oh,
that was it. We heard something.
There's a little bit.
almost heard something.
I don't know why my normal microphone isn't working.
We're getting a little bit of noise.
I'll figure it out.
Well, until you figure that out, we're good to see you. Everybody in the chat are saying good to see you. Megan, I can't read lips, hon. That's what Liz said.
You just have to move them really slow.
All right, I really want to go and
Megan, I
add.
hope your
Go ahead,
I hope
Jake.
your cat's doing okay. I was telling Megan, I hope her cat is doing okay. So I heard your cat's very sick.
It's showing her microphone and her headphone being muted.
Exactly what
My
it does.
side.
Yeah, I saw that too. Say that again. I don't know what that is. I can't read.
I heard the giggle. That was about it.
No, that was a giggle over on my side. There's somebody else behind us.
Oh.
You
Talk
guys don't
down.
need to wait for me.
You're great. No, that's
Oh.
perfect. Don't change
We heard-
anything. We hear
heard
you.
that.
We heard you now.
You're
Heard
perfect.
that.
Well,
I don't know what happened.
still want to figure out why my main microphone isn't working.
What? Your new microphone's not working?
I mean, it's like it's not even an option.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down and crawl under my desk and see why. Probably just got unplugged or something.
Don't get lost down there. We don't want to have to send the squad after you.
You can also change the settings on your laptop, or if you're on your laptop, go to your microphone settings. Make sure that it's actually output is coming in through your headset and your input is coming in through your microphone. I had to do that with Marcus today.
Second, that microphone is not even an option.
Oh, so yeah,
So
yeah,
why it's not
unplug and
going
plug.
up.
Yeah. Look at Megan.
Not playing.
Megan is the IT. She's a second. No, I ain't gonna say the second. She may be the first smart IT person when it comes to podcast streaming because I don't know anything about podcast streaming. I still struggle. I really do.
She should have been here to help you and Marcus when you guys.
Shut up, Jake. Shut up, Jake. Jake. See, this is why me to throw us on the bus, Jake.
I poured my heart out to you, Jake.
We did.
Disregard.
Anyway, let's go. I want to just say thank you, everybody, again for all the likes and everybody who has been watching us. We have had a little bit of technical difficulties when we got started, but you guys stuck with us. We have a lot to discuss in the coming weeks. The other person that was on the panel wasn't able to join because there was something involving her son that she had to take care of, so she wasn't able to join on her first one. As you also are aware of, we actually were going to have Triggered Limey as a guest host on here as well. But the way when we broadcast, it's a time where he's not available. In his household, he has some things he's got to make sure that he keeps the peace in his household, and so that was going to work out as well.
UK, so they're about 5 hours ahead of us, and he told me this morning that when I was at work that he wouldn't be able to join because by the time we start, he's wherever he's staying. They're during their quiet time, so unfortunately, the Triggered Limey could not join us tonight.
Right. Mr. B, what's the question, Chief? If you want, does Mr. B want to get on the panel and ask the question, or you want to ask me in chat? So ask the question. Can we hear you, Megan? Now?
I was about to say, anybody that's got Discord, join us, man. Your own. Anybody's welcome.
It was just slightly unplugged.
Slightly unplugged. Just like Marcus says. Megan, wait, hold on. Megan, you know about the one chip challenge, right? Megan, you know about the one chip challenge. You know about the one chip challenge, right?
No.
Oh, she don't know. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Let's get Megan to try it.
Basically, Megan, what it is.
Do I need the
chip that is basically doused in the hottest pepper extracts you can think of. And what you have to do, I'm gonna break it down for you. What you have to do is you have to eat the whole thing, and you can't drink anything. You just have to sit there, and you have to burn until it goes away. Now, if you drink any kind of milk or anything, you lose the challenge. It's basically what the one chip challenge is.
Okay, hold on a second.
Like for people in their 20s.
Yeah, it can be.
The Tide Pod challenge, water bucket challenge. I don't know, all these challenges.
Oh no,
You're young, Megan.
I remember when they came out with that Tide Pod challenge, and then they
challenge all the time. Nobody does push-up challenges. Hold on a second. No, I'm not doing the gallon of milk. I'm looking for the question. Brian, my question is, I hear people using the term brother with no problems. What about using sister or sister with a black woman if I'm white? My answer to your question is, wait till we get a female that is a minority, or ask Isabella. I don't know the answer to that question because I'm not a female. I don't know if Megan can even answer that question. Megan, I don't know if you heard that question from Mr. B. Mr. B asked, people use the term brother all the time with no problems. What about using the term sister or sister with a black woman if you're white?
Depends on your relationship with a black woman. Maybe someone that you're tight enough with that you can call that to. People slightly like, who the hell are you?
I think that answers the question perfectly. I think
Great.
it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a hands down rule. I mean, rule of thumb is don't. Because you know the person, you know if it would be accepted. Otherwise, you just
Now, if you go up to some random woman like that and say it just to say it, and they look at you like, "Oh, what did you say?" Then,
well, I'll be honest with
not say it again.
I'll be honest.
But why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, true, but still, I mean,
Well, I'll be honest with you. There are times where the situation doesn't actually present itself to be an appropriate situation for somebody to say brother to me. Sometimes the word brother or brother can come across as being very condescending and a little bit really inappropriate. So I don't necessarily, I don't think I really say the term brother anymore. That's a 70s term, maybe a late 80s term. I don't even think that black people say brother to other black people anymore.
What are you talking about, brother? I say it all the time, brother.
I think I think the hillbilly white guys had the hillbilly white guys hijacked
I,
that.
th- I thought that was Hulk Hogan joining us on the panel.
Brother.
So I hear that term. Usually it's like, for example, guys that I went to college with or played football with. If I run into them now, it's like, hey brother, what's going on? So I don't take it in a negative light there. And then I also hear it used in the religious context too. If I'm in church or
Right.
somewhere,
Yep.
might hear it that way. So it all kind of depends on the setting, the situation, whatever. So kind of going back to Megan's point, depending on how well you know the person
yeah.
might
It's
determine
the
your
con
your
the con
attitude.
yeah the context of it, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, sometimes even when I'm at work and I see a customer or something walk by, I'll go, or they'll say hi to me. I'm like, "How you doing, brother?" If
So
they didn't say
Megan,
none to me.
Real quick, I don't think Mr. B actually even heard your retort.
I
So
guess
if
he hasn't heard me.
no, we heard you on the panel, but I'm not sure everybody else heard you. So again, if someone uses the term sister or sister and they are not black, from a female's perspective, what did you have to say about how that happens, or what you feel about that?
Oh, I said that it's all about how well you know the person. If it's something that would even be like, if you don't know the person, then it can come off as condescending or trying way too hard to be accepted by, um, a, I guess, a different culture or a different group of people. Um, but yeah, it can also come off as condescending.
I think there's also some context in how you say it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Or
I
in
mean,
the
if
like, or the
I mean, if I
style of
say,
your
hey,
voice.
right, if I say to Brian, hey, it was good seeing you on the panel, brother. I mean, that's a little bit different than, hey, my brother, how about that game? I mean, it's just different in how you say it and
Yeah, it's how you
in what
project it.
the context behind it. And being in recovery, we referred a lot to each other as brother, brother and sister, kind of in the religious sense that Marcus was talking about. I call a lot of the females sis, and there's no disrespect behind it or whatever color they might be.
So let me put it. What was that, Megan?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm not able to type in the chat for some reason. It says create a channel to join the chat.
That's odd.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's strange.
so here's the question. I thought you were tapping earlier, but maybe I didn't see you typing. So here's the other part about Mr. B's question. He's asking the question. He heard it in this context, and I think this context is something that Megan needs to respond to if you can. He heard it in the context. She is a beautiful sister.
Well, that could, I mean, if it's like a stranger, like say somebody in a movie, it still sounds a little weird because, I mean, unless it's somebody who uses that word all the time, I mean, sure, it's acknowledging something that you see and you're calling her a sister because she's, a black woman. I guess you could also use the same thing in a negative way.
Mm.
I'll go like, okay, darling, or dear, or something like that. But
And some people use that condescending.
I
Yeah, Don't
That's
use
true.
sweetheart. Don't use sweetheart. That one has lost all all positive meanings for all of us, I believe.
What about what about hun?
Where do we live in Baltimore?
But hey, hey, Megan,
Yeah.
Megan, do you think uh, and maybe this for the entire panel too, but do you think going back to Mr. B's context there, uh, is that specific to any part of the country? To where maybe let's just say the Northwest for some reason. Maybe that's just a term that's used more regularly up there.
What,
Uh,
like hun?
like hun or sister, oh, she's a beautiful sister. Look at her, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know about the sister one, but hun, I use it all the time.
Got
Men
it.
and
Okay.
women, I call them hun all the time.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate because I hate that. I hate that whole sentence because that to me sounds like you are normally saying, I don't like black girls, but that sister looks good. That to me, yeah, like I normally don't think black people are attractive, but this sister right there,
What if you also like I would pay that compliment to any color, any culture person. I'll just be like, wow, that is a beautiful woman, basically, because I can appreciate the beauty of my same sex and not be gay.
the guy on YouTube that does this, Cody Lamb or whatever, Megan knocked it out of the park because you see things of beauty, you don't typically say or segregate them in your compliment. If I see a woman or a person of beauty, I will sit there, damn, that woman's fine. Or I will say, dang, that dude look kind of good, man. Shoot, I wish I looked like that. He taking all the girls from Marcus and Big Jake. What the hell? Ain't nobody got no chances. Or I'll sit there and go, man, that. I'll go,
But if it's
look.
in a setting of a lot of people of different colors, it'd be like, okay, now it's
Yeah.
a black gentleman in the group.
Would you say that about a kid? Would you say that about a kid? Ask me that question. If you can't say that in the same context, complimenting a kid, then you shouldn't say it about a person.
Now, see, now we're getting into
What?
like you use race to describe somebody. So if you're like, oh, it's the darker gentleman with the black shirt and the green hat, or I mean, do you just ignore skin color when you're describing somebody because it may offend people, or you come off as racist? Now we're
No.
getting into that territory.
Well, go ahead, Vic.
No,
But did you wait? Well, did you just say would you use the same? Would you use the same compliments towards children as you did towards adults?
No, don't go there. Don't go there, Vic.
No,
That's
no,
not what
no,
I
no,
said.
no,
That's
no,
not what I said.
no. What did you say? No, that's what. Maybe I didn't understand what you said.
So if you are giving someone, right, if you're going to sit there and give someone a compliment on their physical attributes, and you say it from a woman's perspective, and you go, "That's a beautiful sister," or "That's a beautiful brother," would you look at a kid and go, "Oh, that's a cute sister," or a beautiful or cute brother, kid, or black kid? Or what do you say? Would you just say, "Oh, that's a cute kid"? Do you ever go, "Oh, that's a cute little Asian boy"? Because that all these little Asian
No,
boys are so
no.
cute. You wouldn't say that. You would not say that because it just seems so inappropriate.
Right.
But I will tell you, to Megan's point, your skin color is a description. It describes you.
Sure.
So I don't
Right.
have a problem with people saying, "Hey, that's a black guy over there. Can you get that black guy's attention, or can you get that white guy's attention right there? Can you get that blonde-haired lady right there, the redhead lady holding the cat with the glasses on?" Those are descriptive words. I have no problem with that. I don't think there could be any racial undertones implied. But that's just me. The floor is yours.
Well, there's some people
Well,
out there that would literally take that as, oh, he's just being racist because he said, oh, hey, that black guy or that Asian woman with, you know, pink hair, something like that. Some people would actually look at you like, oh yeah, maybe he is racist or something like that.
again, it's contextual though, because what Brian is saying, and Megan was saying use it as a descriptor to differentiate people is different than using it as a weapon or a tool against maybe what somebody did.
Right.
That's how I see it. Again, it depends also on the emphasis put on the word. Could you get that those two guys? No, which guy? Oh no, the black guy I'm talking about, as opposed to that black guy. There's a different emphasis put on the word.
Yeah, that's why I said earlier it's all about how you project it, like the tone of your voice, the look on your body language, stuff like that.
I'm gonna differ. I think because I deliver a lot of speeches, it's all about the intent. And then your intent means a lot. So if your intent and your inflection on when to action based upon someone's skin color, or are you moving someone to feel empathetic or adverse to someone based upon those terms in order to describe in this description, a descriptive way, I think that you are okay to use anyone's skin color in order to describe. So Megan, she is a Caucasian or a white woman with red hair and glasses. Marcus is a African American, a black man, and he's actually going to be our host this year, or next year, or tomorrow. And Big Jake, he's got long hair.
My brother. No.
My brother. But I think when you talk about wokeness and you're afraid to use those descriptive words, I think that's where wokeness becomes an issue. Wokeness doesn't mean that you are afraid to say things that are, obvious. And you should not be afraid to say the color. You should not be afraid to say that. Hey, that's a black guy right there. Hey, and that's a white guy right there. Why should we be afraid to say those things?
But the term wokeness and what it's being used for has been completely taken out of context of what it really is. It means something completely different now.
Does it? Does it? I think it has always had the same meaning.
I don't think so. If you look at what the origins of what being woke was and how it's being used now.
Vic, I'm gonna. I will say that no one I will say this about wokeness. I don't think anybody has a clue about what wokeness really is. I'm gonna say it. I don't think anybody knows. I think it's a term, and people want to use it as a weapon in terminology, and people want to use it and people want to use it as something to actually kind of like propagate some type of belief that they have against someone else, a political tool.
Liz just asked, isn't woke just another word for political correctness?
Well, that's what it's being used for now, but that's not the original intent of it or the origins of woke. No.
Let me offer some humor to this. The Urban Dictionary, or at least one definition in the Urban Dictionary, says being woke means being woke means paying the F attention to what is going on, because if you don't, you'll get effed over and left behind.
Right. Exactly.
I only started hearing the word woke, the whole woke thing, until after Trump was elected the first time. That's the only time I had ever hearing that word.
The wokeness has been around since the 30s.
I've never heard.
It began in the black community in exactly what Marcus was talking about, and that's what I say, that the definition and the meaning of it has been completely skewed.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I've never heard of it until just then, so that's probably why I don't have a complete understanding of the word.
Right.
So
Download the Urban Dictionary, Jake.
Urban Dictionary.
Megan, what say you? What do you think the word woke means? Because I have my own definition.
You're asking me because you kind of cut out there.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yeah.
Oh, well, depends on what circles you run with, really, because some people being woke means that you know that the Earth people would view woke as you are LGBTQ tolerant, or like you're accepting of other people's lifestyles. And yeah, I definitely think that it has manifested. Are you guys getting kicked out? You guys getting the boot already? I mean, it's like 10:30 there. Your mic's not on. You gotta push your head into it.
No, go ahead. I was talking to our waiter. Our waiters came by. Sorry.
Oh well, I already answered, so that's your.
No, so I no, I get it. I mean, I was listening to a little bit about it. Listen, Megan doesn't look. Megan, you wasn't here when we first started. We're in a bar, and I had to go in this last call, and it happened to be when Megan was giving her spiel, and I heard zero of that. So I'm sorry, my bad.
You gotta go back and listen to the replay, and you'll
I gotta
give
replay
yourself
that.
a view. It'll be
Yeah,
great.
that's my.
It basically woke just means different things in different circles. Like in the conspiracy theory world, it means that you are woke to all the things that our government is hiding from us. And then if you're in the more liberal world, you are woke to people that feel a different gender than they were born into. You know, I mean, it's just, and it has manifested in many different things. Used to just be past tense wake. Used to be a word. Now it's a whole movement.
Yeah, I think
it's apparently called the woke nation.
so.
Apparently that's a thing.
And that's where you have to have that balance. I don't know where that balance is. Being woke means if your eyes are, like Megan said, if you're woke and you say, "Oh, you know what? I now have awoken that the government is always tyrannical and always oppressive and all these types of things and always going to try to get you and hold you down, oppress you." That's kind of like the QAnon kind of a thing. And then there's the other side. He goes, "You know, I'm woke because everybody's evil, and I'm going to squash all the evilness out of here." And there are evangelicals who also are woke. So it's a weird, depending on where you stand, what woke means. I don't really have a really clue about what people think about things these days, but being woke about being and having and let me just say this: woke to me means you have the tools at your fingertips to investigate, to research, and to do all the things you can to inform, to get an informed opinion about every topic that's discussed. If you only use a portion of those things and call yourself woke, you're not. If you're only going down one avenue in order to actually gain information, you're not woke. You're an idiot. If you formulate an opinion based upon one book or one website or one news station, you're an idiot. Being woke means I see this over here, I see this over here, and I see this over here because all of this information is readily available to me, and I'm going to use every inch of it, and then I'm going to formulate an opinion. That, my friends, is the definition to me of being woke.
I find that most people that fall under that definition don't call themselves woke.
Right, because people have taken a very positive thing and turned it into a negative, and turned woke into a slur of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and it started as a very positive thing, and now they say if you're woke, you're just a melting snowflake, and following the government rhetoric and all those things. But that's not what it is.
Yeah, and it's like alpha males who, you're not an alpha male if you got to keep reminding everybody you're an alpha male. It's just like that. People who call themselves woke, they're not
Right.
using the word in the right context. They're trying to convince themselves almost.
Oh, I'm extremely beta, by the way.
I'm Charlie.
Delta.
We go.
Squidward.
Gamma, Delta, Beta, Iota, Kappa,
What? What?
You guys are calling your all the.
What?
I'm just. You guys are calling your all these names. I'm just like, oh, Squidward.
But I'm SpongeBob.
You gotta admit, you gotta admit, every one of us have to relate to Squidward in some way, because if you have ever seen that show, you can't tell me that we don't relate to him in some way.
I don't know the show, so
Yep, we're all Squidward. Agreed.
All
Wait, Megan, what?
Yep,
What?
you're Squidward. You're
Wait,
Squidward.
wait, Megan. You don't know who
Oh.
Squidward is?
is this a SpongeBob thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, I just threw that out there as a joke. Okay.
It's you've never seen
Oh.
you've never seen Squid.
I've seen one episode of SpongeBob, but that's because I don't remember. But it had something to do with like they were. I don't know, but it was a
Well,
court
I
thing, you know.
They were
where,
what?
It was a court thing. That's when I've seen SpongeBob by watching a
Listen,
lawyer show.
we tell
Liz just said Squidward is the underwater version of the donkey in
And
Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore. Yeah, the
yes,
underwater
he is.
version of
He is.
Eeyore.
And I will tell you,
It's
my son is too young. We tell my son, if you're watching SpongeBob on your iPad, you're going to be grounded. We're taking the iPad away. My wife has since relaxed that rule, and he's been watching it. And so, out of all the characters, he calls me Grumpy Squidward. He goes, Dad,
Ah!
you've got to be Squidward. So I have to walk around and go, yes, SpongeBob, yes. What do you want, Sponge? And I'm like, why am I the grumpy person? I'm not grumpy.
Hold on, I gotta find that thing. Hold on. Keep talking. I'm gonna.
Although I'm fishing, I can't see it.
Oh, somebody said they like plankton. Ooh, there's a dark individual.
Well, it's just here it is. I just realized that I grew up to become Squidward. Wake me up when I care. I hate everyone. This is idiotic. I knew I shouldn't have gotten out of bed today.
What is
Yeah,
the last name? Neighbors.
We're all Squidward, man. I told you.
I don't think
Yep.
Capital One card.
So do we have any Sandy fans out there? You know, the squirrel under the water with a breathing bubble on her head.
If there's any
Girl,
squirrels,
the-
I'm a fan.
Hey, one of the great episodes though of SpongeBob is when, speaking of Sandy, when the monkeys come, because she's not doing what she needs to do in her tree dome. That's a classic because they're like her
Oh, yeah.
bosses in the real world and all that. Oh yeah.
Are we really
in
discussing
the couple of the first beginning episodes.
Uh-oh.
It's called.
Well,
Jake,
Well,
hold on,
so
Jake.
yeah,
Hold on, Jake.
Yep. The pinky. The
Hold
pinky.
on, Vic.
Not that one.
What did you say, Megan?
You cut out. I imagine you asked me to repeat what I said.
Oh, you were cutting out. We couldn't hear you.
Are we really discussing SpongeBob?
Yes.
Yes.
Aren't you?
No,
glad you
no,
rejoined
we're
us
not.
for this?
We know we're not. We're not.
I missed the whole episode. Maybe that was the topic.
No, I don't know how we got on the SpongeBob. To be honest with you, Megan, I really just don't. But I will tell you, it's
Come
like
to Drinks and Discussions to discuss SpongeBob.
it has been great. I will tell.
Sun on his head.
Well, to be honest with you, we had a really good time tonight. It was a lot of good conversation. A lot of things that have a lot of people just opened up themselves to us tonight. It was eye-opening. It was heartwarming, to be honest with you. And I appreciate you guys just doing and saying some of the things that you have given us tonight and just kind of like allowed yourselves to be vulnerable with us as we are talking about things that, you won't necessarily always see from other channels, and it's just a great opportunity for us to do this. So I hope you don't find this to be kind of boring conversation. We're not watching videos of other people. We're not making fun of anybody. These were one of those things.
Yeah, I heard a little bit on my way home. Talking about you were saying that I'm sorry, you being Brian, that you don't do things in front of like your woman that you wouldn't also do in front of your male friends, and you get made fun of for that. That's the part that I caught. That was my way.
Sorry,
I
guys.
know you guys are busy.
No, I'm sorry. No, I lost my credit card and it went through the table and went on the floor. And the bartender was, the waiter was like, "I don't have your card." And I'm like, "What the hell's going on?" All good.
The magic.
Thumper
Marcus,
88 says again, I apologize for my actions. The vodka and pain pills are really kicking in. But I got much love for y'all. Stay safe. Have a good night. And I'll see you do what I can do to get more. But yeah, Thumper 88. Absolutely. We really appreciate that.
what I would say is this. Go ahead, Megan.
Saying, does that include me, Thumper?
Wait, I actually didn't really. Everybody, I'll be honest with you, and I don't know, Megan, if you noticed this, but Dave came over tonight. I don't know if you saw that.
I missed it.
No, well, hold on.
Yeah.
He went in the chat, and we told him that Drinks and Discussions has been around since I was on his stream, and he's never really wanted to be on this stream. So now is not the time to have him on our panel to discuss or to even be implicit to whatever is going on, to whatever he's going through with his channel. So while we appreciate and have a little bit of respect for Dave, because he has been integral for some of the followers to come over here and participate in our stream, now is just not the time to bring him on the live show and have him on our panel, because there's just a lot of things going on that we just don't want to project upon our stream. And I think everybody in the chat and everything else was okay with us making that decision. And I think that that's something that I think you would actually agree with as well.
Yes. I have 100%.
Yeah, I don't hate Dave. I got nothing against him, but given everything that's going on his end, I think you just need to let that play out. Once the heat dies down, then we can talk behind the scenes, but you got to get that situated first, man.
I think Dave, if Dave can actually be authentic and not be the caricature of himself, talk about politics, talk about things that are current events. I'm open to have anybody on this channel that are actually open to that. Go ahead, Megan. Megan, I think you muted yourself.
I wasn't saying anything. I was trying to log into YouTube.
Oh.
I think someone got all night now.
Okay, so before we go into everybody's goodnight soliloquies, let's go with what I know everybody comes to the show to see and hear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's get after the dad jokes. Marcus, are you ready with the dad jokes?
Yeah.
Me? Is it my turn? All right, here we go.
Your turn.
All right, I don't necessarily plan this, but it always seems to kind of work out to where I have at least one dad joke that is relevant to one of the topics that we talked about today. I'm not going to hit that one first. I'm gonna come back to that one. But my first one is, now that we are entering fall, got the leaves falling and all this stuff, trees and all. How can you tell it's a dogwood tree?
It barks.
It has something to do with the bark.
Almost, Megan. You can tell by the bark. Yep. All right. So this is like 3 weeks in a row. Somebody has and there goes Jake. This boy, do your Jim Carrey.
You got to do that on the last one. That's the exit laugh.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like 3 weeks in a row that.
And by the way, there are people in the chat that are actually getting the joke too. So that was F.
It's planned that way. I'm gonna always have a layup for you.
Right, let's go to the
Because
next one.
you gotta keep them interested. Okay, so the next one is,
Yeah.
What do you call an angry musician flipping someone off?
The bird's a word. Just kidding.
Hmm. I don't know.
Angry musician.
Songbird. So Megan was kind of close. She was singing over there.
It said in the chat there's a sharp note.
All right, my final one.
Gosh.
Because we were talking about this. We were talking about this earlier. Why do some couples go to the gym?
Why do what? Couples?
To
Why
work
do
out their
some-
to work out their differences.
Well, damn it. The punchline is because they want their relationship to work out.
Ba-dum boom. Ba-dum
So
boom.
yeah. So just so I'm putting this out there now, just so y'all know, next week I'm coming hard.
Ooh.
You're not gonna get any of them.
What you said before, not going to get any of them.
Yep. Well, I'm putting my foot down now, Megan.
Well, Jake was saying boo. I couldn't hear you. Sorry, but everyone else did. So it was mute.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, you didn't hear it, Megan?
No, I didn't hear.
Oh, so the punchline is, why do couples go to the gym together? Because they want their relationship. Oh,
But what did you say after that?
it was.
Something. about them.
Next week I'm going to come hard next week, so that you guys can't get any of them.
Well, if Marcus is coming hard, I will definitely be here next week.
Vic,
There it is.
that's a Drinks and Discussions after dark conversation.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Jake, I see what you did there, Jake. I see what you did there.
Oh gosh.
All right, let's go around the horn. Let's start with Vic Ferrari. Thank you. Let's start with Vic Ferrari. Let's get some parting words tonight for everybody that's been out here.
Final thoughts of the evening, man. I just want to say how much I appreciate being up here. How good it is to see all of you, and especially Megan up here tonight. And I will say this. I came in late because I did have some apprehensions about coming, because of people, recording things, clipping things, showing things on their channel about, what's being said in certain places and being part of the drama. But I then decided that the topic and participating in it and the potential of giving something out to other people was more important than that. And I want to thank Brian for the way he handled it when the possibility of it going, maybe in a different direction, than it should be, was handled. So I give you a lot of props for that, and much love to everybody here. And going back to our earlier discussion, not everyone has that person in their life that they could confide in, or even that talks to them or recognizes them. So if you have that opportunity to be that to somebody, to just let them know that they are recognized as a person, and that they are. For that, I just want to say, everybody be well until we cross paths again. Thank you.
Thanks, Vic. I appreciate those kind words, man. It means a lot. I know there's a lot of mea culpas that we all could probably share among the group that continues to, bless us with their presence on this channel. And I appreciate those kind words, and I hope that actually transitions over into everybody else that they walks through this channel. Big Jake, you're up next, sir.
Yeah, just usual, stay happy, stay healthy, and be safe. And pretty much I agree with everything Vic said. And I just want to personally thank everybody for always letting me on here. I feel like I've found my place on YouTube, because you guys have really gotten me to open up on here and kind of enjoy my time. And just like I always say, when life knocks you down, you just gotta stand right back up and knock it right in the mouth and just keep moving. We're all going through it. you know, you gotta find ways to get through it, stay sane in the mad world, you know.
We appreciate you, Jake. I'm going to give Marcus an opportunity to say his last words as well. I think he's got some technical difficulties, so he's trying to start his camera again. Can we hear you?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my camera, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize for that. But I will go ahead and say, hey, I really appreciate you guys bearing with us in the beginning of the show tonight. That was all on me. Brian had to get into my computer. He had to take it apart for me and put it back together again. But he got me up and running.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now we have the First Lady of Drinks and Discussions, Megan, your parting words.
Oh, you really can't beat what Vic said. I mean, can I just say ditto? I'm just kidding. I always appreciate you guys letting me on. I am somewhat taking just like a break from YouTube for a while. That's why you guys haven't seen me very much, but I'll still come on here as long as you guys will let me. I'm sorry I have not participated in the chat at all because something's wrong with my YouTube account. And I'm trying to start a new one, and that's even proving to be difficult. So I'll see you guys all around, but I do like being able to come up here and then just be myself and feel welcome. And that's a big thanks to all you and everyone on panel and all of you in the chat. Big time.
Yeah, like I always say, we're all family here. You're all part of my family now.
I will say this. I think we got everybody, right? We got Vic, we got Marcus, we got Jake, Megan. So I'm the last one on the panel to actually speak. And I will, address everybody in the chat as well as we close out. But I would say this: we have 138 subscribers, folks. 138, and I appreciate 100% of all of the 138. We're not gloating. We're not even trying to actually do anything to monetize. We're not picking on other channels. We're not doing any of those things. I just enjoy your company. And we were talking about men having friends. You guys are all my friends. My friends have gone from 5 to 138, 137, whatever it is now. And it's all because of your good nature. Because we come out here and we do nothing. We sit there and we try to strum up some kind of curiosity about what we're trying to talk about, some interest, if you will, to make you guys feel as if this is an educated conversation where you can really sink your teeth in. And then at the end of the day, despite all of our differences, we want you to send you home light at heart at the end of the day. Feeling as if, you know what? Marcus's lame jokes kind of made me laugh a little bit. And the words that we say to each other as we say goodnight to each other made me feel a little bit warmer when I get ready to go to bed. So I want to say thank you, as I always will do, to each and every one of you guys. And I'm sorry if I can't name you, every one of you, name by name. Because if I say one name and miss someone else's name, I don't want you to feel as if you're not more important than the other, or you're less important than the other. But I appreciate every single one of you. That's why Marcus and I are sitting here on at someplace else. I don't even know where we are right now, but we're trying to make it important. We're trying to make it interesting for you guys, so it's not my bedroom or his bedroom or anything else. I do know where we are, but I'm just saying it. And by the way, Liz, I haven't even begun to defile myself on drinking. I have had a DWI in my life. I will never ever put myself in that situation. I promise you, I will never drink that much to where I'm going to put myself in jeopardy to drive home. I promise each and every one of you of that. But I will also say, Megan, you're dear to us. Don't ever go anywhere. Promise you that you are family to us. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. and I said this at the beginning of this podcast. Go back and watch it. We're not going to tolerate anybody putting up with disrespect, with anybody being disrespectful on this panel, even in the chat. And our moderators, Liz, Yum, and everybody else knows how we feel about that now moving forward. So if we've made mistakes in the past, those are just in the past. I get a little long-winded when I'm drinking, and I go with these last little comments. I go a lot longer than everybody else. I'm sorry, but I will tell you this. By the way, we did not do the hot chip challenge.
Oh, my bad. I forgot about it.
You didn't forget.
Yeah, he forgot about it.
There's always next week. Next week.
That's a long, and that's a long finger, Marcus. That's a long finger right there. That's a long one. That's the long finger.
He's giving me the songbird.
Oh boy.
Yeah. There's a big difference. Like, damn.
You got a long finger too, Megan.
No.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Megan's finger look like a vine of sausage. Just kidding. No, look at her look. Like, damn. I felt that through the video screen, Megan. And damn. Oh. I felt like
Like what?
nothing. I said when you did that. When you did that.
Oh, it's because all the blur.
Oh, okay.
Megan, tell him it works just fine. Just tell him.
You can sit and spin for sure.
It is after hours. Wait a minute. Is this
round 4?
No, but I will tell you. I will tell you this. And me and Jake. I hope you guys saw the promo. Me and Jake did like 3 takes on that promo, and I thought that promo that we did was phenomenal. Thank you to Big Jake for that. We're gonna do more promos. Megan is going to start doing more things with Drinks and Discussions, because I actually will have to say this too. By the way, if Megan, I'm jumping the gun because I haven't really asked Megan to do more things, but I have 2 people.
She will do them.
Well, I'm hoping. Look, she's near and dear. Near and dear. I've got 2 people that are going to be doing Drinks and Discussions, true crime. I'm not good at it. I'm just not. These people are, and there are 2 people that I hope you guys look and watch. True Drinks and Discussions, true crime. Megan, the key to the city is yours. Get Yum, get Deanna, get Michelle, get whoever you want. No faces are required. Ladies' night is going to happen when is ladies' night supposed to be? Is that a Wednesday night or Thursday night? Is ladies' night Wednesday night or Thursday night? I think it's Wednesday night. What night?
Every night.
Oh.
Yes. Every night is lady. Oh man, chivalry, baby, chivalry.
Oh, yeah, I did want to lay this on. If we got any gamers out there, if anybody knows any gamers, I was pitching this idea to Brian that I was thinking about doing a Drinks and Discussions Gamers Corner. Anything and everything about gaming, because I am a gamer.
So, and I said that, by the way. Say it again. Hold on. Say it again, Megan. Hold on, Vic. Say it again, Megan. Say it again.
I said my Wii, but I can't find the battery charger for my controllers.
Paul,
Wii.
if you're gonna cover him,
The Wii controllers.
Do I have? I think I have the controller over here.
Well, right now I just got my PS5 and PS4, so I'm very limited. All my other stuff is in a tote in my storage unit. So
Hold on a second. Hold on, Megan. You missed what Marcus was saying there. You missed what Marcus was saying there.
I heard what he said, but I couldn't really comment because he got interrupted.
Well, I'm not gonna repeat that because it was NC-17. It was NC-17. That's all I'm saying.
oh boy.
Yeah, I was like, is that why his camera's off?
But yeah, if anybody wants to co-host with me on that, let's
That
That was
was
good, Megan. That was good. I just can't get this darn camera off. I'm gonna have to restart it, but I don't want to do that. We're about to shut it down. So
Mr. B just said you killed the camera because you got a few ladies that joined you. Oh boy, this is getting out of hand.
oh man.
You showing them your guns? You need these ones?
wait, whoa, wait, Megan got some guns. You see that? Wait, anybody else see
I
that?
saw it. I saw it.
What?
Oh, my gun.
Yes, you got some definition when you did that.
Yeah,
That's no,
perceptively, a lot weaker looking than I am.
no. I'm just saying that was impressive. I saw a glimpse. That was impressive. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I will.
It's gonna become a meme.
Listen, I'm actually flattered. I know people don't like when the people dissect what we talk about. I'm authentic. I don't care. If you want to dissect what I say to make me feel as if I'm, with toxic masculinity or whatever you want to do with our drinks and discussions thing, I can't stop people from doing that. We just can't. But if you come over here and you want to be friends of our channel, and you then want to go and dissect it, and then you want to make fun of us because we're being vulnerable, then I have a problem with you. And I don't want you to be a part of this channel because it goes contrary to what we're trying to do here. So, I've said enough. Said enough. Go ahead, Megan.
Is that new this week? Because last week you were okay with some people.
I addressed all of that, Megan, at the beginning of the show. At the beginning of the show. I am never okay with it. Never. So watch it again, and then we'll talk about that later. But at the end of the day, I appreciate our host. I appreciate you guys in the channel. Not me. I'm speaking for Megan, Marcus, Vic, Nick, Big Jake, myself, and what did I say? Baby Blue Eyes or Big Blue Eyes, whatever her name's going to be when she comes on. She's going to be on the panel as well. Yum. Also, Liz is part of the channel. Your moderators out there, you guys are part of the panel. Whether you believe it or not, you are a part of this panel because you are facilitating what we are trying to say in the chat, and you're keeping these things at our attention. I don't know how we can do like super chats and all that kind of stuff, so we can get things, even if it's not a super chat. I just want to see text on the screen that we can actually see. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm not that sophisticated. Technology goes over my head. I don't know what that all that technology is all about. I'm being facetious, but when we get to that level,
He says he's a tech guy.
when we get to that level, I would love to make sure we get you guys on the screen, your chats on the screen, and all that kind of stuff. But we're the new. We're in our infancy stages. So I appreciate you guys. Marcus appreciates you guys. Megan appreciates you guys. Big Jake, Vic Ferrari appreciate you guys. So with that, we're going to say good night. Thank you for staying with us throughout the technical difficulties. And we will see you, promise you, you will see Drinks and Discussions one more time before the end of the week is out. Look for the Drinks and Discussions streaming channels. Find one you like, subscribe to it, get notified when we're out there. And I know, James the Mick, you're out there somewhere. I know you're asking me about the streaming channel. Get on the sports and the Drinks and Discussions sports. Get out there with us because we've got a lot to come. Big Jake and I are going 101 on the sports channel this week. So everybody, prepare yourself. We're coming. Jake and I are going 101. And until then, we will see you. Go ahead, Marcus.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of that, we Jake, your Bengals are coming to town this weekend.
That's what we're talking
so-
about. That's
Yeah, that's
what
what
we're
we're
talking
talking about.
Oh, right on. Well, I want to congratulate Jake in advance for the victory against the Cowboys.
Hey now.
Thanks, Vic.
Oh, you're welcome.
Doing great. That was
Megan. Megan.
injured. So
No-
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Megan's face.
That's sarcasm.
Preseason.
that was
Come here.
Yeah, you guys can't leave yet.
Hold on a second. Come on, come down.
You can't leave.
What do you want?
What were you about to say?
I said I've been divorced twice if you need help.
We had relationship. We were talking about relationships earlier.
Yes.
And she said she's been divorced twice.
Yes.
And Drinks and Discussions is the name of the podcast.
Oh,
And
good.
you should be able to come over here and and solicit your advice and your experience anytime. We're every Tuesday, 8:00.
Oh, we could totally do that.
Are y'all local?
No,
you guys
we're
local?
in Asheville, North Carolina.
That's still Central Standard. That's just Central
No,
Time.
it's Eastern.
No,
Oh,
we're
it's Eastern.
Eastern.
See, I'm not good with geography. I failed that class.
Clearly,
That's
yeah.
why I went to a junior college. I didn't go to.
Divorced twice, married 3 times. We know how to do that.
Yes.
I'm so proud of y'all for
But
doing
her
that.
last one, you are? I love being a 2-time loser, don't you? Don't you feel special?
Success story. Whatever.
No, I just
No, we're talking about divorces and all that kind of stuff.
Divorce man, I'd like to
I'm
give
sorry?
some advice.
Are you married? With
Brian,
I'm married.
Go home.
No, just one.
Just once. Marcus pulls all the ladies. I just get out there and go, I'm married. I'm
Because you're married,
I'm
and
ha-
you're still married.
nobody's still married.
Have to go upstairs, but not too late.
But it was great meeting you, ladies.
It's nice meeting, and I am so proud of y'all for doing this out here. Good job.
Thank
We
you.
hope we didn't interrupt you.
No, absolutely not.
Nice to see you guys.
Good night.
That's cute. That's so cute.
Don't be married and divorced.
No, they can't hear you, but you guys can hear them, right?
No, they can't.
Because we're losers.
What happened?
I said I am 50.
tell him that we'll see him next week.
You say what?
I said I am 50.
She's 50? You're 50? You're not 50.
She can't even
I am
Can
50.
you tell her that she's great for 50?
You look fabulous. Wait. Everybody is sitting there telling me in my headphones that you don't look 50.
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right.
I'm definitely 50.
See her next week, right?
She's from Nashville. She's here for a conference or something. I don't know what she's here for, but
I was getting a fist bump.
Oh, fist bump. Oh, okay.
she's got the internet.
I didn't want you to drop your.
Definitely get on Drinks and Discussions.
What?
Drinks and Discussions on YouTube.
Okay.
Every Tuesday.
Okay.
We're great. We got great people. And anytime you want to join and talk about relationships and anything else.
I hate
There's a lot of people in there. All right, that's when anything else comes in. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I'm gonna end it right now.
later.
Thank you. See ya later. That's the greatness about doing live, but it's also like the worst thing about doing it live. It gets you can get in trouble. Marcus is gonna get in trouble. I ain't. I'm going home. Marcus is like, oh shit, she look good for 50. I'm kidding.
Go home. Eric.
I got a 5 a.m. workout and I got to go to work, so I'm taking my ass home.
Yeah, I think you guys should both get home. That's good advice from it.
All right, guys. It's great. I love doing live stuff. And when we shut this thing down, everybody at this whole patio is going to come over here and go, so what were you guys doing over here? I guarantee you this is what's going to happen. Because we were interrupted a lot. It was great. I love this atmosphere. But, again, First Lady of Drinks and Discussions, Megan, Big Jake, Marcus, Vic Ferrari. I'm Brian. We're your hosts of Drinks and Discussions. We will see you again next week. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.